Hello. Hello, 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 hello. Here we are. Oh, I'm already scared. We are playing Sayanota, the Song of Sai. It's apparently a really good horror visual novel. I'm not sure exactly what it's about. To be completely honest, I tried not to look into anything regarding it prior to playing. So yeah, all I know is people say it's a masterpiece and they say it will mess you up, I guess. So without further ado, let me see, actually check some settings. BGM, SFX, voices.
さやの歌
Sayanota. I could toggle the protagonist's voice off, but we can also just leave it. Nitro plus. Window full screen, monitor settings, blah blah blah. Change color of red text, that's fine. Alright, let's go. Why make the visuals? The story is a work of fiction. The procedures and conditions described herein are imaginary and do not reflect actual medical practice. Okay. This work of fiction contains grotesque images that may disturb some viewers. Please select how you would like such images displayed. Do not modify grotesque images. Obscure focus of grotesque things. Lower brightness of grotesque images. Obscure focus and lower brightness. I mean, I don't know. I'm gonna change the title though to I'm gonna change the title because I don't want to see. I don't want people who are squeamish to come in and be like, ah, what's this? Actually, it's fine. I think it's okay. I'm trying to think of what I'd even put. TW Ori, I think. I think that's fine. Trigger warning: grotesque visuals. All right. Do not modify grotesque images. I have to let me actually look, make sure there's no nudity in this, so I don't get smited accidentally. No. Why are these? Why are these freaking things so hard to find? I don't know. Hold up. Hmm. I feel like it's not. I think it's okay to play. I think so. I guess we're just gonna we're gonna go for it. And if we see anything crazy, I'll just go bloop, close it. Lower the brightness. I feel like lower the brightness would probably be good. We'll lower brightness. That's fine. Oh Jesus Christ! wriggling mass of flesh burbles. Blah, 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 blah. Give Subahi Brensley three such creatures sit around the table in front of me, slurping filthily from their cups. Sludge from their cups as they trade wines, growls, and that I cannot describe. What's an eye? Ooh. I cannot translate that. Blah, 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 blah. This is so unnecessarily loud. Oh, okay. By listening carefully, I'm able to grasp the gist of their conversation and respond when it is required of me. This is necessary to avoid arousing their suspicion. However, these creatures look... they are my friends, apparently. I wish that I could still deny it, but I gave up on that a long time ago. Night after night, I went to sleep praying for an end to this nightmare, only to wake each morning to the same twisted hellscape as the day before. I know now that I have to blend in, that I have to act like one of them. Such has been my life these past 3 months, so it will remain until the day I die. I can almost make out some words. Judging by its tone, this one must be Koji, and the one next to him is squealing more than the others is probably Omi. Which means that the one next to me is Yo, though I can no longer see any of her once attractive features. I try my best to ignore the rotten stench of excrement that tissues from her quivering flesh. This is definitely a start. Everything has changed, or almost everything. By some cruel trick of fate, my relationship to the world alone remains the same, as if an insane architect took the blueprints off of my life and rebuilt it out of blood and gore. These monsters now were part of the same college club. We studied together, ate together, we even went skiing together every winter break. Now these are but painful memories of days that will never return. Only no one recognized me, I might have been able to disconnect myself. If only no one recognized me, I might have been able to disconnect myself from the world. It would have been comforting in comparison to believe that I had been abducted by aliens or that I had stumbled through a gateway to hell. But no, this is beyond a doubt the city where I was born and raised, the society that I was part of for 20 years, save that I and I alone can no longer see it that way. The world as I knew it is gone. I have no place to call home. What's going on? Does he have like some sort of mental disorder or something? Just making him see like all this. Oh my goodness, this is getting old. Anyways, I can tell that whatever they're discussing is of no importance to me. I just have to keep quiet while pretending to listen. But just then... Hey, Fuminori, one of those flesh beasts says as it swivels its bloodshot eyes towards me. What do you think? Oh god. Oh no. I tried desperately to suppress my loathing and behave normally, but my hoarse voice ruins the attempt. Oh, we're talking about this year's ski trip. Coming to, right? Slimy hole near the top of the creature writhes nauseatingly as it vomits some semblance of words. That must be Koji's face, or what I would have seen as such 3 months ago. Unable to stomach the sight of it, I avert my eyes and give a neutral answer. I don't know. Oh my god. These are my closest companions. One of them had even wished to be more. How many nights have I spent crying in loneliness, lamenting for the friends who no longer exist? In 3 months, my tears ran dry. Now there's only loathing left in me, surrounded by hideous creatures that I can only assume are Koji, Omi, and Yo. I spend each day trying to act as I always have. If I fail at this, I'll surely be sent back to the hospital. Only this time I'll be locked away forever. No matter what, I won't let that happen. I mean, it's not like physical activity could affect your injuries, right?
今日の診療で先生に聞いてみる。
That's it. I can't look at them or bear their screeching any longer. I jump to my feet, desperate to escape. A spray of stringy slime and the cilia around its voice box flies at me. I try to cover myself, but too late to keep the slime from splattering across my face like the yolk of a rotten egg. I'm about to lose it. I want to grab the chair, a desk, anything within reach and use it to smash the life out of this creature, ending it all. I barely suppress the impulse. I mustn't let on that something is wrong, however they look to me. This is their world. I'm the outsider here.
今日も診療なんだ。もう時間だから。
Struggling to put on a smile, I reach into my wallet, pull out the first bill I find, and put it on the table without even looking at it. I don't care about the change. I just need to get out of here now. I'm not crazy.
ねえねえ、今度のスキーだけどさ、今年はどっかスケートも遊べるところにしない？ スケート？
Sugabayo frowns at the suggestion.
わざわざスキー場にまで行ってスケート？
勘弁してやってくれよ、つくば。こいつ今そっちにハマってんだ。
Pono Koji supports Omi with a laugh. Her impromptu suggestions are nothing new, and it's Koji's role as her boyfriend to provide backup. They're a good match for each other, Yo thinks. Sometimes it makes her jealous.
なんせオウミってさ、この前この年になって初めてスケートやったんだ。
何よ、スケートしたことなかったのがそんなに不
I
思
assume
議？
we're talking ice skating, not roller skating, right?
20歳になって初体験ってのは興味そうそういないんじゃないかな。
That's true. I
子
feel
供
like
の頃
you
は
do that when
な
you're
んとな
young.
く怖かったのよ。
Those shoes look like big
なん
knives.
だか刃
Oh,
物み
they're
たいでさ。
definitely talking about ice skating then.
でもいきなりやって滑れたの？おみちゃんすごくない？
This Yo.
容量はスキーとそう変わるもんじゃないからな。重心を前に出して靴の前のヘリでコントロールする感覚とか。
Yeah, I've ice skating like one time, and I thought I was gonna die because someone like jumped over me, like I fell like a dumbass, and then some like pro I guess was just going by, and I thought he was just gonna cut me in half, and no, he jumped like right over me and just kept going. I mean, had he fucked up, I just would have been cut in half, but it's fine because we're still here, we're chilling.
コウジにそう言われたもんだからさ、騙されたと思ってやってみたわけよ。そうしたらもう楽しくって。
So it was a date. Yo feels a stab of envy. Goji and Omi enjoy their time together as normal lovers do. That's certainly not something that should make her jealous. It's just that her luck in love has been bad.
私も見てみたいな。おみちゃんがスケートやるところ。
Yo keeps her voice upbeat, trying to cover up her disquiet. She knows it's wrong to envy her friend. She would be spending time with the man she admires, if not for the terrible tragedy that befell him. Is his true misfortune. Her bad luck doesn't begin to compare.
だからさ、ね、今度のスキー旅行、ついでにスケート旅行にしちゃえば2倍美味しく楽しいってわけよ。でもさ、スケートはスケートリンクに行けばできるじゃない。
That's
わざわ
yeah.
ざスキー場に行ってまでや
If you're going to a ski resort, you should ski and snowboard, not skate, because you can go to
だ
the
か
skating
ら
rinks
屋
anywhere.
内じゃなくてさ、屋外スケー
That's
ト。
also fair.
凍った湖と
Yeah,
か
they're
で
always
滑
just
れるところ。
indoor.
そんな都合のいいとこあるかな。なんだかすっごく混んでそう。
Me. Although the conversation has involved only 3 people so far, there are in fact 2 couples at the cafeteria table. Yo's boyfriend, though there's still some doubt over whether he could be called that, is beside her as silent and expressionless as a statue.
なあ、文則。お前はどう思う？
Perhaps Koji sensed Yo's pain in his usual quiet and considerate way.
どうって。
Oh, we're seeing what's happening after the fact. Like this is the same conversation from when like we were in that fleshy area. Now we're seeing it from like the normal area. It makes sense now. That's an interesting way to show it, his perspective versus like an outside perspective. First versus third. First versus third. Because of his distress, Sakisaka Fuminori responds to Koji's sudden query with a vague, mumbled question of his own.
いや、だからさ、今年の冬のスキーだよ。お前も行くよな。
Koji speaks gingerly as though probing a tumor. A few months ago, he would not have hesitated to rebuke Fuminori for his attitude. Their long acquaintance has forged a strong and honest friendship, but now... I don't know. Fuminori responds bluntly. His downcast eyes and sullen demeanor make it clear that he has no desire to break his silence. Even Koji, Fuminori's best friend, cannot communicate with him as before. What does Yo have? What hope does Yo have of breaking through his shell? The scars left by the events of that late summer day are still deep. All these months later, each one of the four bears them, not only Fuminori.
別に運動するのが傷に触るとかそういうわけでもないんだろ。
どうだろうな。今日の診療で先生に聞いてみる。
As though that answer drained the last of his patience, Fuminori bolts out of his chair.
おい、Fuminori!
Even Koji can't keep his voice from rising as he tries to stop Fuminori from leaving. Fuminori reacts swiftly, throwing his hands over his face as though to shield himself from something terrifying. Maybe some spit flew inadvertently from Koji's mouth, but that happens sometimes. Fuminori's reaction is beyond the pale. Like I said, Fuminori snaps, making no attempt to relieve the discomfort of his friends. Today's my checkup day, I have to go. Even as he tosses money on the table to pay for his coffee, he acts like he's touching something filthy. Later. Fuminori stalks out of the cafeteria almost as if he's running away. Cloaked in heavy silence, the remaining three lower their gaze to the table where the abandoned 10,000 yen bill sways forlornly. Fuminori's coffee is untouched. Omi says with a sigh, but Koji shakes his head reproachfully. This guy's cool. I mean, apparently we're all involved in some sort of accident, right? So... Oh, losing your whole family? What the hell? Yeah, makes sense. It could have happened to anyone. A tractor trailer flipped over on the highway, causing or crushing the Sakisaka family car into twisted scrap. They said it had been difficult to tell the bodies of Fuminori's parents apart. For a while, it had looked as if there was no hope for Fuminori either. It was nothing short of a miracle that he was able to leave the hospital and return to a normal life. I mean, in his eyes, you're not like blobs of flesh and just contorted, skinless. Oh. While Koji's kindness makes her happy, Yo also knows that she mustn't take advantage of it. Fuminori is the victim, just as Koji said. He's the one who most deserves sympathy. Yo's feelings for Fuminori are her problem and no one else's. She doesn't blame Fuminori for not giving her an answer after she worked up the courage to ask him out. In fact, she thinks even more fondly of him for taking the time to consider than she would have had he treated their relationship casually. Apparently, the fact that Fuminori did not reject her was enough to make them a couple in Koji and Omi's eyes. They've had plenty of fun at Yo and Fuminori's expense, since the truth of it, though, is that he still hasn't given her an answer. After revealing her feelings to him, Yo didn't see Fuminori again until a week later, and then she could only stare at his broken body through the window of an ICU. And when he was finally released after 50 days that seemed an eternity, he was somehow different. She's starting to doubt that he even remembers what she confessed to him before the accident. Now, winter is coming, and her feelings hang forgotten in this cold, lonely air. What the... Poor Yo, man. Poor Fuminori. Dr. Tambo Ryoko has never had a more troublesome patient. His voice is hard and flat, his words tossed carelessly into the air. It's like he's speaking to himself in an empty room. Ryoko is a surgeon, not a psychiatrist, but even she can sense the thickness of the wall he has erected between himself and the world. I'm gonna grab a drink. Give me just a second. Be right back. You're back. Where are we at? Ryoko is a surgeon, not a psychiatrist, but even she can sense the thickness of the wall he has erected between himself and the world.
吐き気やめまい、幻聴や幻覚といった体験は?
Oh, wrong one. There we go. Any nausea, dizziness, or hallucinations?
いえ、何も。
No. While Sakisaka appears to be looking at Ryoko, his gaze is actually aimed a fraction down and to the side. He's only superficially engaged in this conversation, when in truth it does not interest him in the slightest. Perfect rejection. Realizing that she can't interview him like this, Ryoko sighs and sets her chart aside.
崎坂さん、あなたが当院で受けた処置は脳神経医学の分野では世界的に最先端の治療でした。そのことはご存知ですよね。
Experimental neurosurgery? Bro, they messed up my brain. Treatment of subdural hematoma through the use of micromachines. A procedure available in Japan exclusively here at T University had been the only way to save Sakisaka Fuminori from a cerebral contusion that should have been fatal. So they saved my life at the cost of my sanity.
まだまだデータの出揃っていない危険性の伴う治療法だったという意味でもあります。
Oh, brother. Unexpected complications is right. Sakisaka Fuminori's lips twist slightly in what might be a bitter or mocking smile, but it is gone before Ryoko can discern its meaning.
普通こんなことを言って脅かすのは医者として問題なんですが、施術後に重大な脳障害をきたしたケースも報告されているんです。予後の経過には十分に注意しなければなりません。
There have been reports. I wonder who else has had this done. Hence these weekly checkups, if only he would take them a little more seriously.
先週の MRI はどうでした?
How was last week's MRI? Sakisaka asked abruptly, as if to catch Ryoko off guard. MRI, magnetic resonance imaging, is a way for doctors to examine the brain in detail without opening the patient's skull. Surprised by Sakisaka's uncommon technical knowledge, Ryoko recalls his profile.
そういえばあなたも医者の卵だったわね。
So I wonder if he sees her as just like a blob of flesh right now too, like just a disgusting thing that he's like repulsed by. But like he can make out the words enough to try and hold a conversation with her. Like, God, that just weirds me out. Ah, God.
先生が心配しているような脳機能不全は画像診断だけでも十分にわかるはずですよね。
いいえ。
Why wouldn't it? There was nothing, not the slightest hint of abnormal activity for a procedure with such a low rate of success. The results have been nothing short of miraculous. However, something still bothers Ryoko. She can't shake the feeling that he's hiding something beneath his guard exterior. Some terrible weight on his soul, perhaps. But if it's an inorganic problem, then there's nothing she can do as long as he refuses to explain it.
大丈夫ですよ、先生。現に僕は
Why wouldn't he want to tell her?
病院の外でも何不自由な
Saya
生
no
活
Uta?
していま
What's
す。
that?
問
It
題なん
is
てないで
the
しょ。
song of Saya. It's a horror visual novel. But how you doing? Map. So why would he lie to her about everything being fine? 3 months is like, bro. Doing alright? Oh, another late night. Oh, that's me too. Me and you both, let me tell you. I'm always on late nights now. It's crazy. My schedule is so messed up, but it's okay. Alright, let's see what's going on.
ねえ、坂さん、 こういった難しい手術は予後不断が原則なんです。
Trust us a little
そう
more.
ですよね。
Hmm.
僕だって先生方を信用したい。どんな相談にも乗ってもらえるんですか？
BRB. Okay. Hmm.
ええ、もちろん。
じゃあ先週の話の続きなんですが、先生、あれから大貝教授については何か分かりましたか？
Is he like prying into the doctor who might have done the surgery? He's like wondering if he messed him up. Unable to answer, Ryoko hards the mask of her smile. As before, the patient is inquiring about someone whom he has no business knowing.
大貝教授のことは、あなたの治療とは
She
何の
knows
関係
something
も
and
ないで
she's
しょ
not telling us, for sure.
信頼しろと言った矢先にいきなり隠し事ですか？
True. True. Ryoko is used to patients treating her with hostility. Some degree of paranoia is natural when dealing with a person whose mistakes could kill you. In Sakisaka, however, she doesn't see the anxiety that other patients exhibit. His demeanor is perfectly calm, almost like a detective questioning a suspect.
何分だいぶ前にここを辞められた方ですからね。私個人としても交流があったわけではないし。
辞めた理由はご存知ない？
ええ、おそらく個人的な事情でしょうね。
Ryoko answers smoothly, her earlier hesitation gone, having decided at the outset to lie. She has no trouble doing so with a straight face.
それにしても、咲坂さん、なぜあなたはそんなに大貝教授にこだわるんです？お知り合いですか？
教授は今失踪中なんです。知ってましたか？
Oh,
いいえ。
Ryoko realizes that her answer may have been a little too quick. She should have acted more surprised. Oh,
近頃教授の身内の人間と恋にしていましてね。その人から調査を頼まれているんです。
a relative. Ryoko considers this with a frown.
大貝教授に縁者の方はおられないはずですが。
Busted.
誰から聞きました？
それは噂話に。
So,
なるほど。
I
そんな
see.
ことが噂になる程度には、大貝教授は有名人だったわけですね。
まあ、一風変わった人だったみたいですね。
なのに、誰も彼が大学を辞めた理由を知らないと。
Surely they don't. Surely. Ryoko falls silent, knowing that this isn't a topic she can brush away with a smile. Sakisaka seems to have finally grasped her mood. However, as his strangely stiff tone softens a little.
先生、僕はどうしても大貝教授に会わなきゃならないんです。彼がいなくなったせいで、行く当てがなくなり困っている子がいるんです。
それはむしろ警察の領分なんじゃないかしら。
Although she makes it sound like the most obvious thing in the world, the suggestion is actually a gamble. If Ogai Masahiko's disappearance becomes a police matter, then the university will be investigated. Everyone who was involved in the incident will be at risk of exposure. And of course, that includes Ryoko herself. She knows, however, that Sakisaka is unlikely to go to the police. First of all, his excuse is obviously a lie. They already made sure that Ogai had no relatives who might come looking for him, which is why they could bury the truth of what happened. Huh? I'm so confused. But then how did Sakisaka, a mere patient, learn about Ogai?
咲坂さん、私の知っている範囲のことは喜んでお教えします。ですが、大貝教授は今年の4月に辞表を出して、
He absolutely
以
did
後
our
は何
surgery.
の音信もないんです。どこか長期の旅行にでも行かれたか、その程度しか想像つきません。
Boy, hello. It is a long time no see. How are you? How are you?
そうですか。
I see. Expecting resistance, Ryoko was surprised when Sakisaka backs down. She's still worried about his condition, and the mysterious link between him and Ogai is only making her more uneasy. But as long as he doesn't open up to her, there's nothing she can do. After a brief pause, Ryoko writes progress good on Sakisaka's chart for today.
咲坂さん、それでは来週の診察ですが、
4 o'clock.
今日と同じ4時でも。
Before she can finish, Sakisaka is gone. I'm good, man. I have free time again. How have you been? Oh, same. I also have free time. I'm glad that you're good. I'm very happy to be able to just stream and chill again. Like, it's been a while. Probably like, what, 2 months probably since my last stream, I think. But, or I guess I started streaming earlier this week, but prior to that, it'd been like 2 months. But we're good now and we're back at it. The late night streams, though, is usually what it's going to be now, I think. Oh god, the flesh. Looked like someone sprayed the walls with pig guts from ceiling to floor. What color should the walls of a hospital be? White, of course. And to the creatures of rotten flesh shambling around me, I'm sure this hallway looks just as white as it should. I know intellectually that the walls are white. I know that the flesh beasts are really human. I'm the one with the problem just because I've accepted that. I've accepted this, that I'm able to lead something approaching a normal life. I remembered I was bummed out because I didn't get to watch you finish P3 Arcside class. I did peep the VOD though. You had such a great reaction. Oh no, you mean me just crying like a baby? Oh man, that was so... that game hurt me. I still want to play through the answer, but after I finished that, it kind of like fell off because I was so... I didn't have the time to stream. So like my interest, it's not like gone. I still want to play it, but I feel like I have to get back into the Persona mood because that one messed me up. But yeah, I do want to play the answer. But yeah, I just... Nah, because saying that ending still hurts. Yeah, that was so tough. For no reason. For no reason. Everything like alluded to it too. I'm not gonna spoil it, but like for anyone who might watch a VOD and they'd be like, oh, what's going on? But yeah, no, it was depressing. So depressing. But it was a great game. I freaking loved it. There was the gacha game, the Persona 5X. They did a collab with P3, and I freaking like, if you know anything about gachas, like how they have copies that you can get, I freaking A6'd him, so I got like max copy just because I was like, he deserves it. He deserves it after what he did. He's my goat. I think I tweeted about it too. It was pretty funny. I'm able to lead something approaching a normal life. Tell us about the P4 remake and the P60. I did. I'm super freaking excited. Are you kidding? P4 was like the first Persona I played. Like Persona 4 Golden is what I played on the PS Vita when I was a kid, and oh my goodness. Welcome back, Matt. How are you doing? But yeah, P4 remake. Chef's kiss. Super excited. It looks incredible. On P6, it just looks spooky. I'm super excited for that. Doing good? Good. Alright. Even my university's medical department is nowhere near as good as T universities. I'm still a medical student specializing in neurology. I have a basic idea of what has happened to me, though it's hard to believe. Bro, so much happened that weekend. It was insane. I know, right? Oh my goodness. I feel like next year and the year after, it's going to be a good year for video games. This isn't a pathological condition. It's probably some form of agnosia. Agnosia? Like agnosia. Damn, I don't know. I don't know. Like anything that's ever been studied before. A flesh beast called Tambo Ryoko said that other patients had developed neurological disorders after receiving the same treatment I did, so I guess I'm just another failure. It makes me want to laugh in that know-it-all doctor's face. That said, I don't blame the doctors who operated on me. After all, I do owe them my life. I know as well as anyone how low the chance of success was, that I had no other hope of survival. I mean, at that point, if this is what you see now every day, and you can't even recognize humans anymore, I think I'd rather have died instead of doing this. This is crazy. Like, living like this, like, look at, that's what your world looks like? Sheesh. Get my hands on a Switch 2 before next year, bro. I'm trying to think, what else is coming on Switch 2? Is Wind and Waves coming out yet? Like the Pokemon game next year? If I'm gonna hit so bad. I also need a Switch 2, to be honest. I was gonna buy one and then I was like, there's not a lot of games I want to play on it. Oh, it is Wind and Waves next year? Bro, that's gonna be sick. It looked good when I saw the trailer, I think. I was unlucky, that's all there is to it. The point is that my condition isn't treatable. Just like someone adapting to a hearing aid or a wheelchair, I have no choice but to adapt to this nauseating scenery. Of course, it's hard. It wasn't easy to resign myself to this fate, but now there's more than just despair. Even for me, there's a glimmer of hope. Keeping my eyes on my feet, I hurry home. Yeah, no, I've seen a lot of games that I'm interested in playing now. Like, let me see, I think Tomodachi Life is a good one. Legend ZA, I don't know. Like, I love Pokemon, but I don't know if I would be like, Legend ZA didn't seem like up my alley, to be honest with you. Oh, what else? There's so many other games, and I'm literally struggling to remember them. But there's like actually a decent amount of games on Switch 2 out now that I think I'd be interested in. There's one that I feel like is freaking Rhythm Heaven. Rhythm Heaven, that one. Oh, I freaking love those types of games. And yeah, I would freaking want to play it so bad on stream. Where did you get this game? Just on Steam. Just on Steam. I was just looking at visual novels and wanted a spooky one. And this was one of the ones that showed up as like horror, like really good horror. So I was like, I'll pick it up and try it out. So here we are. Yesterday we played Clannad, which is a very sad one. So it's definitely a stark contrast going from that yesterday and me just laughing, having a good time and upbeat vibes to freaking this like gore mess. But I think this one's really short, so I think we're going to be able to finish it in one go. And then we're going to try the next, we're going to go back to Clannad or the Sword Art game. I live in a quiet suburban neighborhood in a house that's much too large for me alone. My parents, even unluckier than I was, died in the accident 3 months ago. Couldn't even go to the funeral for being in intensive care. I had to sell my father's business, but at least that left me with the house and enough money to live on for a while. Of course, I'm sad, but the accident took more for me than my parents. In fact, being on my own has probably saved me. If they were still alive, my parents would never have allowed me to live with some strange girl. Oh, does Yo live with him? Or no? Huh? Welcome home. That's not Yo. As I open the door, a bright voice greets me from the kitchen. The voice is beautiful and clear as a bell. Human, its sweet sound washes the day's cacophony from my memory. Saya. Even the patter of the feet coming down the hallway is music to my ears. Nowhere else in the city can I hear such footsteps. Only in this house with Saya am I so privileged. What the heck? Why is she the only normal one he can see? In her smile, in the inquisitive tilt of her head, is everything that I have lost. Since my accident, this girl is the only person I've met, perhaps only person in the entire world who does not trigger my cognitive disorder. True, her skin seems too white, and the color of her eyes and hair is probably different in reality, but even so, her form is undeniably human. So she's like solace to him, and it's not just her appearance and her voice either. As I bend down to take off my shoes, Saya wraps her arms around my neck and pulls me gently into her chest. What? Her skin feels truly human, not cold or slimy, and from her hair wafts a sweet feminine fragrance. In all the world, only Saya is pleasing to my 5 senses. And what's more, she smiles at me and embraces me. She knows that she is my salvation, and for some reason is happy that I need her. If I had not met Saya, if I had been all alone in this twisted, filth-ridden world, I would no doubt have succumbed to madness. It is no exaggeration to say that Saya alone is keeping me alive. Imagine it's like opposite to like everyone else is like normal outside of his disorder. But like imagine everyone else, if they see him hugging her or whatever, she's like some flesh monster, like just disgusting, inhuman thing. What did you get? And Saya's monstrous? Oh, I don't know. I don't know, this is the first I've seen her. But yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like imagine she's like some inhuman creature. Would be a base idea, right? That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking. And now I'm making your dinner like I learned from the TV. There's the food. Of course. So, does the food she make, does it look normal to him? Or is she going to be eating slop? After I see the humming Saya off to the kitchen, I step into the living room. Tell me this. Oh wait, it's kind of normal. It just looks disgusting. I realized one day that if the natural colors of the world were sickening, all I had to do was paint over them with colors that seemed pleasant. I went to the hardware store and bought every color of paint I could find. Then Saya and I tried different combinations until we found one that worked. After painting the bedroom from ceiling to floor, I was finally able to get my first good night's sleep since the accident. When we first started on the living room, Saya, unsure what to do with the curtains, just painted carefully around the windows without a moment's hesitation. I tore the curtains down and painted over the glass itself. There will never be anything out there I'd want to see as long as we keep the storm shutters closed. The neighbors probably won't think anything of it. Dinner's ready. As she enters the living room with the tray of food, Saya sniffs the air.
ペンキの匂い平気？
Now that she mentioned it, I suppose the smell of paint thinner must be building up in the closed room. It doesn't really bother me, though. There are far worse smells
さ
outside.
やは嫌いかい？
平気。文則が大丈夫ならいい。
Saya sets the food on the table. Unfortunately, neither its color nor its smell is at all appetizing. Not that food elsewhere is any
い
different.
ただきます。
A bit fey. Fey? What does that mean? I'm not sure. As has become routine, I steel myself and methodically transport the food into my mouth. Oh, like fairy? Okay, fairy. Yeah, I get what you mean now. I wasn't sure. But I guess that makes sense. As has become routine, I steel myself and methodically transport the food into my mouth. The taste is as gut-wrenching as I expected, but it's not sizable. I'm sure she made it exactly like the cooking show said. It's just that my taste buds can't accept it.
美味しくない？
まあね。
Oh no, why would you say no to her? Lying won't make Saya happy. She knows about my condition. Oh, just tell her how it is.
明日はまた別のものを作ってあげるから。
It's understanding at
ごめん
least.
な。いつも。
She definitely can't be real though. She's like a figment of his imagination or something.
いいのよ。こうやっていろいろ試していけば、いつか文則でも美味しく食べられるメニューが見つかるかもしれないじゃない。
It's true. Makes me feel like she has to be real though, because if he's eating this food that she's making, like he would have starved otherwise. Yeah, like I need food to survive, he says. In my current state, eating is nothing more than an unwelcome duty. As much as I hate it, I need food to survive. If I stay alive, then perhaps one day, as Saya says, I'll be able to taste something delicious again. I met Saya, didn't I?
さやは食べないの？
私はもう済ましたから。
Interesting. And all the time we've been together, Saya has never once eaten with me. I don't know why she refuses to do so. It makes me a little sad. Oh, something's up with her, bro. She's not a good person. I don't trust it. I don't trust it. Or her. Yeah, right? Weird. Real weird. Not quite human. I'm thinking something like that too. Still, I'm not about to push the issue. Not when she's putting up with all the problems I have.
そういえば、今日もう一度。
Oh, her father is Ogai? Wait, what?
パパの？
Dr. Ogai Masahiko is Saya's father and her only living relative. Saya has asked me to unravel the mystery of his disappearance.
やっぱり何も教えてくれない。何か隠している雰囲気なんだが。
そう。
The face went no inhuman eldritch waifu. Actually true. Actually true. Something's up with her, but she's taking care of us, so it is what it is. I expected Saya to be a little more disappointed.
心配じゃないのかい？お父さんのこと。
そういうわけじゃないの。
She gives a little shake of her head and then smiles at me once again.
ありがとう、文則。
What are we doing for her? Letting her live here? Is that what's happening? Or, oh, we're looking for her dad, I guess,
君
too.
はそれ以上のことを僕のためにしてくれるんだ。
Oh my god, I almost coughed right into the mic. I had to, like, lock in. I thank her for the meal and set my chopsticks down next to the perfectly clean plate. As wretched as the taste was, thinking of the care that Saya put into it gave me the strength to finish every bite.
じゃあ、お風呂にする？
Huh?
また。
Okay, wait a minute. I'm gonna have to turn off the screen to make sure there's nothing nude here. You can call it to the mic, you know, these things happen. I know, but I'd prefer not to. Alright, yeah, let me... Ever since I moved in, it's been like having my own wife. Ah, wait, game. Alright, I hit the game real quick. I'm gonna make sure that it doesn't show anything nude. I'll read what it says, though. Saya, why are you so good to me? Is this truly what you want? Well, right now it's not showing anything nude, so I'll bring it back up. Is this truly what you want? What am I? That you can give yourself to me, body and soul. Is this merely sympathy? Do you pity me, the exile from society? Is that enough for you to surrender yourself to such mad desire? Are you so wanton? Saya is here. She's with me now. Only in this moment is her existence certain. Only when I am joined with her can I believe. No matter what cruel fate might await me, Saya, there is nothing I fear more than losing you.
文則、泣いてるの？
Oh, realize that my cheeks are wet with
どう
tears.
してなんださや。なぜ僕にここまでしてくれる。
ふみのり。
わからないんだ。わからないのに僕だけがどんどん君に惹かれていく。君なしじゃ耐えられなくなっていく。
Well, this sucks. This is poor Yo. She just has no chance with us now because she just looks like a blob of flesh, just disgusting, repulsing. And Saya just looks like a normal girl who can take care of him. God, I wish that was me. I have my arms tied around her, praying that our bodies will melt together and never again be apart. What the heck?
教えてくれ。どうすれば君を失わずにいられる。
How can I
僕は
repay
何
you?
をすればいい。
こうやって抱いていて。
We're getting into some territory. We're getting into some territory. That's not what I meant to do. Jack is not mentally well. What do I? Oh, wait. This looks a little weird. You could all dab. Keep holding me aside, which
ふみ
is
の
my
りに
chest.
抱いてもらうのを
Let's make sure we don't get anything crazy.
ずっと一緒にこうしてい
Keep
たい。
holding me aside, which I want to stay like this
だ
forever.
から私はふみのりから離れたりしない。
なぜ僕なんだ。
それはね、ふみのりが一人ぼっちだから。
Mm.
それはさやも一人ぼっちだったから。
The sorrow in her voice resonates with my own. There's a deep loneliness in her eyes, a loneliness from which now springs boundless affection.
だからさやにもふみのりしかいないの。この世でただ一人
You're
だ
all
け。
I have in the whole wide world. Only you will embrace me, my precious Fuminori. Oh, dude, she's weird.
ふみのり。
She's weird. There's something up with her. Now I know. No matter what horrors this world unleash upon me, all I'll ever need is Saya. Alright, next day. Are we back to normal? A class? Alright, I think we're back to normal. What up? Whoa. She's not right. Unseelie Faye. Yo is determined to talk to him today. Nothing will happen as long as she hesitates. It will only prolong her suffering. The time has come to show courage once again. Oh, she's gonna ask us out again. Oh, she's cute. Yo's fourth period on Thursday is biology. This is her one chance to see Fuminori. As a required course with many students, the lecture is held in a large hall that can seat well over 200, but since the room is usually only half full, it's really difficult for Yo to find the seat she wants. Yo prefers to sit near the center, where it is easiest to hear the professor. Most of the students congregate in this area for the same reason. Fuminori usually sits beside her, although given the ambiguous state of their relationship, she knows better than to take this for granted. Still, she tries to save a seat whenever possible. The classroom isn't crowded today, so Yo is able to set her bag on the seat next to her without inconveniencing anyone. But when the professor arrives at the usual time to start class, there is still no sign of Fuminori. After waiting for about 10 minutes, Yo scans the room furtively. Fuminori is there, sitting alone in the far back corner. Did he miss Yo when he came in? No, he couldn't have, and besides, no serious student would willingly sit so far away from the front. Feeling miserable, Yo slides her bag over to herself. Fuminori is out the door at the moment the class ends. Yo barely manages to catch up to him before he disappears down the hallway. Fuminori jerks at the sound of his name. You would think she just screamed at him.
何か。
He turns to her and asks reluctantly. Now that they are face to face, Yo is painfully aware of how much weight Fuminori has lost. Sunken eyes and protruding cheekbones are a far cry from the features familiar to her. She wonders whether he's under a lot of stress or perhaps not getting enough nutrition. Maybe it's both. He definitely looks more tense than he should, afraid even, though of what she can't imagine. His eyes move restlessly from point to point, and he refuses to look Yo in the eye. It hurts to see Fuminori this way. What could have changed him so? Today, she reminds herself, rekindling the flame of courage in her heart. She's gonna be like, no, sorry. I actually gave her the time of day. The courtyard is empty and silent. No one is willing to sit and chat in the cold November air.
話って何？
Oh, he obliged? That's crazy. Don't you remember? He almost blurted the question out, but managed to keep her composure.
咲坂さん、最近ちょっと様子が変です。
そうかもね。
Hmm.
まあ、あんな目にあった後だから。
He smiles like it's nothing, but even that seems forced. He's even standing precisely one pace farther from her than he used to. She is cute, right?
本当に
Sucks though.
それ
It's
だけなんです
unrequited
か？
love. Is that really all?
君にはそれだけじゃないように見えるのかい？
What do you want? You managed to keep from flinching at the harassment of his tone. Oh, Yo manages to keep from flinching.
何か我慢してるみたいに。
Rather than answer, Fuminori grinds his toe into the dead grass at his feet, fearing that her determination might flag. Yo lets the words come as they may.
どうしようもないものを無理して壊れそうになるほど頑張って我
Dang,
慢
she
してる
knows.
みたい
She knows.
今の
How
咲坂さんは
perceptive.
そう見えます。
There is something going on, Yo. There
そうかい。
is. You're talking to me, but you're just a blob. That's it. Just a blob of flesh with giant eyes sticking out, just spitting out freaking goo and slop. Oh, really? Fuminori mutters through clenched teeth, no longer trying to deny or change the topic. This isn't even clear signal of rejection than his prior evasiveness. But Yo's determination is strong. Today, at least, she won't back down.
友達ってこんな時のためにいると思うんです。
Hmm.
ご家族のことは本当に
Ew.
だったと思います。
And that's what he sees, man. That's brutal.
でも咲坂さんは一人ぼっちじゃありません。友くんや大見ちゃんやそれに私がいます。
Yo can no longer stop the words pouring from her lips. She fears that if she does not unleash her feelings now, they will be lost forever.
一人で背負い込んだりしなくても私たちでなんとかで
What are
き
we
ること
looking
だっ
at
て
here? I have no
ある
idea.
と思うんです。
Like we saw her eye in the last like scene. But this, I'm like, bro, what the hell are we even looking at? It's disgusting. I think we can help you so you don't have to deal with it all by
た
yourself.
とえ何もできないにしても話してさえくれればあなたが少しでも楽になるかもしれない。
Like maybe if I just close my eyes.
咲坂さんの力になりた
Oh,
い
we're
んで
about
す。
to yell at her.
他のみん
Oh
なも
no.
同じ気持ちだと。
やめてくれ！
Oh, stop it. Fuminori shouts, silencing Yo's entreaty. She promised herself that she wouldn't back down, but Fuminori's expression is terrible enough to shatter her resolve. The look in his eyes is not anger, any warm-blooded emotion. It's hate, murderously cold hate.
そういえば君には一つ返事しなきゃいけない要件があったね。
Oh, shit. We're about to shut her down. He remembers. He remembers and he still has treated her so coldly. That is all the answer she needs. His words stab any deeper, she might very well die.
僕は君のことをとりわけ特別に意識したことなんてなかった。君に好意を持たれてもどう接すればいいのか迷ってた。僕が君のことどう思ってるのか。
咲坂さん、
でもね、今ではもうはっきりと答えが出てる。
Yeesh.
あれから考える時間だけはたっぷりとあったからね。筑波さん、僕はあんたのことが大嫌いだ。顔を
Bro.
見たくない。
What the hell? How do we just drop that on her? Don't cry, Yo tells herself, but too late to stop the tears from pouring from her eyes.
もう二度と会いたくないっていうのは無
She's
理だ
done
ね。
nothing wrong. I know, right? This is messed up. She just wanted to help him, but he's just, I don't know. I suppose it's too much to hope I never see you again. We do go to the same
だからせ
school.
めて今後は僕に声をかけないでくれないか。
Bro.
目障りなんだよ。つくづく。
ひどい。
How can you be so cruel? Yo whispers in shock and despair, to which Fuminori twists his lips into a malevolent smile.
君さ、少しは頭を冷やした方が良かったんだよ。どうせ大宮浩二にけしかけられてその気になってただけなんだろ。
Hmm?
自分一人でのぼせてる分には勝手だけどさ、他人を巻き込むなって言うんだ。
What the? That's all Yo can take. Even after shedding tears in front of him, she absolutely refused to let him hear her cry. Any disgrace would be preferable to breaking down here. So she runs, fleeing breathlessly from the courtyard with Fuminori's cold smile at her back. Asshole. Asshole. Omi was the first to catch the sight of Yo and Fuminori leaving for the courtyard. Reluctant to interrupt them, but still unwilling to leave them alone, she and Koji ended up watching the whole thing from the shadows.
あいつ
Yep. Yep. This guy's evil. I know. I agree 100%. Throughout the exchange, Omi was clearly itching to jump out and punch Fuminori in the face, knowing her temper. Koji kept firm hold of her arm until the end. If he hadn't, she might very well have done it. Fuminori leaves after Yo, his every step seeming to take an act of willpower. Koji sighs heavily into the once more empty courtyard, but the bitter taste in his mouth will not go away.
どうしちまったんだかな、あいつは。
Even Koji cannot forget Fuminori's treatment of Yo. However, the first thing that he feels is confusion, not anger. Koji has known Fuminori since long before college. Fuminori was never this cruel before. There's no question that the accident changed him.
ねえコージ、このまま放っておくつもり？
放っておきたくないにしたって、俺たちに何ができる？
覗き見よりマシなことよ。あたし、先坂君に一言言ってやらなきゃ気が済まないわ。
それで筑波の気が晴れるってもんでもないだろうに。
だったらあたしのキーだけでも晴らすわよ。
Yo and Omi are best friends, just like Koji and Fuminori. In fact, it was their relationship between Koji and Omi that brought the other two together. Omi's anger is only natural.
あたし、先坂君と二人だけで話してみたいわ。
Oh, great.
コー
This
ジは
isn't
つい
gonna
て
go
こなくて
well.
もいいから。
He's gonna be like, you disgusting motherfucker, get away from me.
機会よ。
その代わり、ヨウのことを見ていてあげて。あの子、多分心底傷ついてるから、泣き終わった後で誰かの優しさが必要になると思う。
なあ、
Omi is
それっ
based,
て
I
俺
agree.
とお前の役回りが逆じゃないのか？
Wait, shouldn't we switch jobs?
あたしみたいな性格だとね、慰め役は無理。励ますつもりで余計に傷跡広げちゃうのがオチなのよ。
なるほど。納得いった。
Mm-hmm.
あ、ヨウのいい。
Don't agree with her.
そっちはほどほどにしとけよな。
Just go easy, okay? Ending the conversation before Omi's room gets any worse, Koji heads off to find Yo. Alright, let's see how this goes. Let's see her try and freaking give him a piece of her mind. I feel awful, miserable, but also refreshed. I finally crossed the line. I knew it would come crashing down like this sooner or later. Having become unable to feel anything but disgust for other people, there was no way I could hope to maintain the relationships I'd had before the accident. Today's incident will definitely get back to Koji and Omi, and everyone will be convinced to have a major change of character. Honestly, I don't care anymore. At least I probably won't be committed for this. I just need to avoid acting any stranger than I already have. If this puts a rift between me and the others, good. The thought of all the stress I'll be avoiding brings a smile to my lips. I'm fed up with them sticking their noses into my life. It's like they don't care. They make my gut turn just by being near me. I've been terrified of them until now, but today I struck fear into one of them. In that sense, it's something of relief, but I'm not entirely without remorse for what happened. The person I just demolished with the verbal equivalent of a nuclear bomb used to be my friend, Yo. Even if my senses don't believe it, my mind accepts the theory. I don't have any particular grudge against Yo herself, and I didn't want to hurt her. In retrospect, perhaps I should have just ignored her outright. Yo was an attractive girl, I certainly didn't think badly of her. To be honest though, I was annoyed when Koji and Omi tried to stick us together. I felt like they were using us as entertainment, and Yo seemed totally oblivious to the fact that she was dancing to their tune. Her cluelessness was irritating. Still, I knew that none of them meant any harm, but back then, I didn't have any reason to hurt others just to get my way. If having a casual conversation or having a casual relationship with Yo would keep our circle of friends together, I was willing to make that compromise. Now, however, there is no room in my heart for such forbearance. If merely talking to someone is an ordeal, then how can I be expected to show them kindness? These ruminations have left me exhausted. I want to return to Saya as soon as possible, but thinking about the packed trains and crowded downtown streets between here and my home saps my spirit. Catching sight of a nearby bench, I sit down and close my eyes to the horrors of the world. I can't do anything about the stink or the noise, but at least I can calm my nerves enough to rest. Until Omi pulls up. Until Omi pulls up, she's gonna fucking let you have it. When I regained consciousness in the T University hospital ward, the world was as dark as it is now. I had not yet recovered my sight, even though my eyes and optical nerves are undamaged. It must have been an after effect of the accident. Blindness was a shock, but now I know that my suffering then was nothing. After all, my senses of hearing, touch, taste, and smell were all fine at the time. The real horror began when my sight returned. The one small mercy was that I was able to come to terms with the accident in my neurosurgery while still blind. I panicked when I first saw the nightmarish hospital and the blood-curdling shapes of the doctors and nurses, but I soon guessed the cause. It chills me to think of what might have happened if I had recovered my sight along with my consciousness, suddenly awakening in what can only be described as hell. I would no doubt have lost my mind instantly. Oh, so you think because he woke up without vision at first, I feel like all the other senses like are heightened after the fact of him getting his vision back. So at first when he couldn't see when he woke up, things didn't smell weird, like people sounded normal because he couldn't see them, but now that he can perceive them, like once his vision came, then suddenly it made all the other senses like jumbled, and now he's like, this guy's already lost his mind, he's not who he was. Yeah, no, for sure, definitely. He's just a shell of his former self now, who was probably once just a cool guy with some good friends. Now is just a miserable, hateful person because of this world that he's living in that's different from the world everyone else is living in. Soon my disorder spread to the senses of touch, taste, and smell. As it turns out, sight exerts tremendous influence over the other four. Oh yeah, that's like exactly what I said. Once you can see something, it just changes how all your other senses are gonna like perceive something. The taste of my food, the feel of my bedsheets, the fragrance of my get well flowers all became as unbearably foul as my eyes said they should be. Eventually, when the doctor's voices became unrecognizable as human, I decided to kill myself. I didn't believe for a second that I could live in this new world, at least not until I met Saya. Well, where'd you meet her? One night, while thinking of a painless way to die, I found myself succumbing to sleep. Drifting between the nightmares in my dreams and the nightmares of reality, I didn't notice her enter my room. What the heck? Next thing I knew, there was a face staring down at me from next to my bed. The face was not covered in pus or slime or earthworm-like feelers. It had smooth white cheeks, round eyes, a lovely little nose. All things I had never expected to see again. The face was that of a girl, undeniably human and positively glowing with beauty. I sighed in admiration, savoring the first peace and joy since regaining my sight. She had not expected such a reaction, apparently. Aren't you afraid of me? She asked, looking at the clock. I thought it was exactly 3 in the morning. No time for a young girl to be alone in the hospital. Perhaps she expected me to mistake her for a ghost. But I would not have cared if she had been a ghost. Either way, she was a godsend. Yeah, no, she's weird, and I don't like it. I assumed that she was the daughter of a late shift doctor or another patient. It was unusual, but not unthinkable for such a girl to be wandering around the hospital. Huh? Yo, she's actually not human or something. Some sort of monster, bro. Why is she trying to scare him? Wait, I cried, desperate to keep her from leaving. It was only after she turned around that I had realized I hadn't thought of what to say next. Her beautiful eyes drew me in, healing my soul to its core. Through the white haze clouding my mind, I struggled to form a coherent sentence. No longer concerned with propriety, let the words come as they willed. Saya looked confused at first, but she smiled like she just found a new toy. Her smile was brighter than my memories of the sun. Bro, he's holding something freaking diabolical. Ever so carefully, as though catching snowflakes, I placed my palm against hers. I could feel her human warmth and the softness of her delicate fingers. She was there just beyond the palm of my hand. Thinking back on the joyful tears I shed, then I know that this is the moment I was saved from my fate.
は
他の人じゃダメなんだ。僕事故に遭ってその後遺症らしいんだけど、人が人の姿に見えないんだよ。
本当に不思議な人。あなたって面白い。明日の夜もまた来ていい？
Oh, he's like, please do, please come back.
そりゃもう
Yeah.
いいのかい？
大丈夫よ。夜は私のものだから。
Does she only exist during night? Actually, maybe an angel. Be not afraid. The first thing she said was to ask why he wasn't. Oh, yeah. Be not afraid. I like your thinking. I like your thinking. And so our rendezvous began. Saya came to my room every night at 3 a.m., skillfully taking advantage of the duty nurse's shift change. I was astonished to learn that she was living inside the hospital.
これだけ広いと隠れる場所には事欠かないから。
So big that I never had a place to hide, she said, answering my surprise with a nonchalant smile. She had been living in the suburbs with her father, she told me, until one day he suddenly stopped coming home. After she had tired of waiting, Saya had decided one night to sneak into the hospital where he'd worked. And there she'd lived for over 2 months, searching for his whereabouts all the while.
学校には行かなくていいのかい？
いいの。勉強は全部パパに教えてもらったから。さやはとっても頭がいいんだよ。
She was a strange girl. On one hand, she looked and acted like a child. On the other, she was remarkably self-reliant, and at times exhibited a sharp intelligence and deep knowledge that many may have found unsettling. I didn't care. Sai was the only other human in a world gone mad. Humans are fallen angels. Oh, that makes sense, yeah. Fallen angels are demons. Sai was the only human in the world gone mad. Her existence meant far more to me than standards of society.
危なくないのか？見つかりそうに。
全然平気。ここにいれば
Don't
食
have
べ
to worry
るも
about
のに
food
不自由
here.
しないし、パパのうちに一人ぼっちでいるよりもずっと楽しいよ。入院してる患者さんたちのうち、ちょっと精神的に参ってそうな人を事前にチェックしといてね。
That's weird. She went through the list of patients and found ones who have mental disorders. That's
時
crazy.
々部屋に真夜中に忍び込んで脅かしたりするの。その人が大騒ぎしても、
What? Dude,
そ
she's
ういう患者さんの
sadistic.
言うことはみんな真に受けたりしないから、結局は悪い夢ってことで片付けられちゃうし。
Her confession reminded me that the hospital was famous for its ghost stories. Who could have imagined that there was actually a real girl impishly roaming these hallways?
じゃあ僕も最初はそのつもりで。
うん。ごめんね。怒った？
While her pranks were hardly praiseworthy, I couldn't bring myself to scold her for the very thing that had brought us together.
もうやらない方がいい。
What a bitch,
その
right? I
今
agree.
僕の話し相手になってくれないか？
I couldn't bring myself to. You shouldn't do it anymore. Will you come talk to me instead?
さやもその方が楽しい。
This is us in the hospital bed. With extreme care, I was able to conceal my sensory disorder. It was glaringly obvious that the doctors had no way to cure me, and the fact that I had undergone a still experimental procedure made me even more cautious. As a medical student, it was easy for me to imagine how the doctors would react if they discovered I was exhibiting such unusual side effects. I was not about to become a guinea pig, a mere specimen to be examined with clinical detachment. I was thinking that too. I was like, I feel like that's why he's not telling anyone. Because if they find out that the surgery had some crazy side effects, they were just gonna like go all in on experimenting on him and trying to figure out what pick his brain, quite literally. Excuse me. And so I hid my discomfort and loathing behind a mask of normalcy, convincing the doctors that any signs of stress were merely a result of hospitalization. Saya was my sport, looking forward to her nightly visits, and gave me the strength to endure my daily torture. Hope can make an enormous difference in a patient's progress. With the aid of my secret nurse, I recovered at a pace that left the doctor stunned. On the last night before my release, I summoned my courage and asked her.
君はこれからもずっとこの
Oh
病院
no,
に居続け
invites
る
her
の
to
かい？
his house. Or to live with him.
うん。結局パパの手がかりはなかったけど、もう他にいるところもないし。 バレそうになるまではいいかなって。
In other words, there was nothing keeping her there.
よかったら僕の家に来ないか。
え？
家族はもういないから部屋はいくらでも余ってる。人目を忍ぶような必要もないし、住み心地もそんなに悪くないんじゃないかと。
ずっと文則と一緒に暮らすの？
I was too afraid to ask her what she thought of that, so I hastily offered a deal.
君の父さんのことは代わりに僕が探してあげる。約束するよ。
Oh,
必ず居場所。
難しいと思うよ、それ。
I think it's gonna be hard. Why does she think so? Like she knows something about her dad
多
too.
分パパ、何か悪いことをしてこの病院を辞めたんだと思
Yep,
う。
her dad did something too frickin' to our boy here. She knows her dad botched the surgery on purpose.
だから警察とかは困るの。なるべくこっそりと
Okay,
探さなきゃいけない
bro,
し。
really? Can't get the police involved in it.
頑張るよ。どんなことだってやる。僕は
Unable to control myself, I finally spoke the truth.
さやと離れたくないんだ。
Oh, Lord. At first, she looked bewildered, but after a few minutes of silence, she said,
少しだけ考えさせて。
That night, she left my room earlier than usual. Alright, give me a second. I'm gonna go grab a drink. Dr. Torment Nexus. Truing Torment. Be right back. Alright. Here we are back. Is my window? Yeah, it's all lined. Okay, cool. On the day of my release, I managed to smile as I accepted the hideous, foul-smelling, celebratory bouquet. The flesh beasts calling themselves Koji, Omi, and Yo came to pick me up. Though they had to come see me many times during my stay, it never got easier to see my friends change so horribly. My sudden tears of despair drew suspicion, but I managed to explain them away as tears of joy. While we walked to Koji's car, I looked desperately for Saya amid the grotesque scenery. Even as we drove away, I kept watching the hospital fade into the distance, praying for a last glimmer of hope. But Saya never appeared. After Koji and the others dropped me off, I paused, a while to regard my surroundings. I had lived my entire life on this block in this house. There was no other place that I could call home, but nothing was as I remembered. As I walked up the path to the front door and took in the yard where I had spent my childhood, I could feel those memories being defiled by the twisted, festering shapes around me. Bro, that has got to be so sad. Are you kidding me? Everything you knew and loved as a kid just gone. I have no home, I whispered with a smile of self-pity. There was one last stop to make, one last nail to hammer into my coffin. Yo, this song goes crazy though. Yeah, we're going crazy, but this song is hitting. Wait, what? I stepped into the room that had cradled me from childhood. The walls were papered with human entrails, the bed a tangled mass of warm flesh. But none of that mattered. There, curled up on the bed like an abandoned cat, was Saya. As I stood there in shock, she looked up at me and a tiny, weak voice said, "Yeah, Okay, this is how we know she's not real, because how the hell would she be able to find his house? Like, I guess she went through patient logs before when she was at the hospital, but like, she just showed up at her place after not saying anything. It's like not like she's a kid who can just tail Koji's car when we were driving here. I mean, I guess it's plausible, but how was she already inside? Like, she's just a figment of his disorder, 100%. There's no way it's anything else. I responded by sweeping her into my arms, embracing her tightly so that she would not escape. Saya did not resist. This is honestly kind of sad. The records, they'd have his address. Yeah, that's the only thing. How'd she get in otherwise, right? I mean, I guess, I don't know. She's a sneaky gal. When she arrives at the Sakisaka house, Omi first takes a deep breath to calm herself. Oh, she's going to his house right now to like tear him a new one? I thought she was going to do it still at the courtyard. Her anger does not vanish entirely, of course, but at least now she can hear herself think. While waiting for a response from the intercom, she looks over the patch of yard that she can see from outside the gate. Even Omi isn't normally one to complain about other people's housekeeping, but this is going too far. The grass is growing wild and there are piles of dead leaves scattered everywhere. It doesn't just look untended, it looks like an uninhabited ruin. It's still light out, but every window has its storm shutters tightly sealed. Omi guesses that they've been closed since morning. Closed since morning? Those shutters haven't been open since like 3 months. What kind of life is Fuminori leading? Even if he's living alone, he can't neglect his housework forever. And it is just her imagination. Is it just her imagination, or does she just something stink like rotten meat? It couldn't be coming from the yard, could it? Still no response, so she presses the buzzer a second time, and a third, and a fourth. Finally, after this has gone on for over 10 minutes, Omi loses her patience and opens the cover of the intercom. As she expected, the power has been disconnected. Perhaps Fuminori has a good reason for shutting out the world, but Omi can only see it as a lack of respect for others. Her anger rekindled. She pushes the gate open and stomps through the yard to the front door. Given the state of his intercom, she doubts Fuminori will respond to a knock, so Omi just decides to open the door and go in shouting, and if the door is locked, she'll just have to kick it down. Surprisingly, the doorknob turns easily in her hand. The enraged Omi finds herself throwing the door open wider than she intended. Oh god, her nostrils instantly assaulted by a choking stench. I bet. I wonder if there's something dead in here. Ray, hello. How are you doing? Yo, this. Yeah, something's either dead in here. Finally, someone speaks English streaming this game. Doing good. How are you, man? I'm doing pretty good. What? Who have you watched play this that's not speaking English? Like, what are they speaking? Japanese or? I would assume Japanese. Honestly, would be my first assumption. Russian or Japanese? Okay. And we got English. As Omi stands petrified on the threshold and the cowbell hanging on the inside of the door chimes loudly. A moment later. Welcome home. What the hell? Omi can't believe her ears. The voice she just heard could not have been human. Yet its intonations were too complex for any animal she can imagine. Don't tell me that's Saya. Dude, if that's Saya and she thinks it's Fuminori coming home, we're gonna see what Saya really is. Oh god. Someone there, she calls out to the end of the hallway from which the voice came. There is no response. Instead, she hears the sound of something soft and wet flopping its way deeper into the house. Bro. Finding it difficult to place a meaningful image to the voice she just heard, Omi stares blankly at the empty vestibule. There's nothing there, not even Fuminori's shoes, which can only mean that he's still outside somewhere wearing them. The house should be empty, but then what was that voice just now? Bro, oh, this is freaky. This is freaky. I don't even want to see what Saya looks like. I like how she asked if anyone was home or whatever, and then Saya suddenly just didn't respond. She did when the door opened or whatever. Probably because she thought it was Fuminori. But now that she's like, you heard a lady's voice, she's probably like, who the hell is this? And just like went silent and slithers away like a monster. Her anger has vanished as if it were never there. Nevertheless, Omi sets foot into the hallway, leaving the door open so that the cowbell won't ring. The floor creaks, setting her nerves on edge. Omi isn't sure why she's acting like a burglar, but something tells her to make as little noise as possible. Sounds like woman intuition. She knows something's up. The potency of the stink inside the house makes the whiff she caught outside pale in comparison. It's sickening, like rotten fish guts. Has food been left to spoil in the kitchen? She hears a bubbling sound up ahead. Stepping gingerly on the creaking floorboards, Omi makes her way to the end of the hallway. She finds rooms to both sides of her, one lit, the other dark, and chooses to look into the lit room. Oh god. Oh, it doesn't look terrible. In the kitchen, lit by what must be only the window in the house. Be the only window in the house, not covered by a storm shutter. The sound she heard was the pot boiling on the stove, and on the chopping board next to her lie a butcher's knife and some half-diced carrots. A perfectly normal household scene with the light of the setting sun making everything the color of decomposing fruit. The family's reaction when they enter my room. Okay, bro. Okay. Something is wrong. Who was cooking here, and where did they go? Oh no, don't let Omi die. As her words echo vainly through the silent house, she begins to feel foolish and defenseless. Suddenly, she feels something cold seeping through her pantyhose. Okay. She timidly reaches down to touch her feet. Her fingertips come away, covered with a viscous olive green slime. With the filthy water from a tank long clogged with algae and dead fish, the whole floor is covered with it. It must be the source of the stench. Omi now wishes that she had worn her shoes inside. Manners be damned. Ew. Just freaking couple feet of slime in her pantyhose. It's crazy. When she looks back ruefully the way she came, she realizes that her current position is not visible from the entrance. The kitchen must be where that strange voice came from. Oh, Jesus. The next room is probably the den. As she expected from the closed storm shutters, it's pitch black inside. Omi wants nothing more than to flee this house, but that would mean turning her back to the darkness, and that she simply cannot bring herself to do. Just walk backwards, keep facing it. Moved by some irrational compulsion, Omi sets foot into the den. It is too dark to see anything, and the stink is far worse than before. She slides her hand along the wall, feeling for the light switch, finding it much sooner than she expected. She flips it on like it's her last hope. Oh god. The colors. The colors. So many colors. The purple of entrails, the brown of rotten meat, the crimson of fresh blood, the yellow of fat. These colors and more that cannot be described cover every inch of the room in maddening array. The colors say all that needs to be said about the painter's hatred, malice, and insanity. Omi's legs give out from the shock, sending her to the floor. Slime immediately soaks through her jeans, its cold tendrils creeping up her legs, crotch, and her neck. Huh? Her hand flies her neck, where it's greeted by another drop of chilly slime. What? Tendrils? Excuse me? Above her, something is dripping down on her head, making perhaps the worst decision of her life. Omi looks up. The predator clinging to the ceiling, poised to leap upon its prey. She sees it in every detail. Her mouth and nose are sealed before she can scream, and her belly is torn open as something enters to feast on her innards. What? What is this sudden music change? Gray, what's up? How you doing? Yeah, this is crazy. So it's actually a monster? Like, bro, what's going on here? Taste, no. But by the time she feels any of this, Omi has already gone mad. What? Is she gonna be living in the same messed up world he is now? Oh, don't tell me Fuminori's coming home. I bit the bullet and tried to take the train, but the rush hour crowds were so bad that I had to get off halfway and walk. I'm running pretty late. Asaya word. Hope she's not mad. Oh god, this is gonna be fucked up. He's gonna see Omi and Saya. When I enter the yard, I realize that the front door has been left wide open. I am concerned. I was doing good thing came into this stream, to this scene, and now I am concerned. Yeah, no, this is creepy. Light from the living room is seeping out into the hallway, and I hear what sounds like someone smacking their lips. There's also a tantalizing fragrance in the air. Is it Saya? I consider calling out to her, but decide to enter in silence instead. Something smells strange, though not unpleasant. The aroma is quite soothing. In fact, it reminds me of Saya's hair. Oh, it's going to be the dead body of Omi, bro. It's going to be the dead body of Omi. At first, I'm surprised by what I see in the living room. Floor is covered with what looks to be some kind of grass, probably the source of the herb-like smell, and there are fruits or vegetable-like balls of varying size scattered everywhere. Bro, what? What? I won't stay much during this time, but continue. No, this is weird. So, yeah, everything is like opposite for him. So what he thinks is normal is disgusting and like would make anyone else vomit, but like what makes him vomit is normal to most people. So this is probably like the entrails of Omi that he's like seeing on the ground in blood, and that's what he thinks is grass. He's like, oh, it smells so good. Ugh, right? Yeah, no, this is gross. Oh.
Saya.
Aw. Saya turns around, her eyes wide with surprise. She then looks away sheepishly like a child caught at some prank.
何を食べてるんだい？
Oh god. Oh god.
これはその
And he just doesn't even realize it's Omi. Remembering that she has never eaten in front of me before, I realize that she must be quite embarrassed. Oh, that's true. She doesn't eat in front of him. Probably because she eats freaking humans or something.
一ついいかな？
Can I have one? Dude, no. That's so gross. I scoop up the closest fruit thing and pop it into my mouth, ignoring Saya's attempt to wave me off. I'm scared. Yeah, this game has made me feel very weird and uncomfortable. You don't have to stay, Gray. You don't have to stay. It's weird, I know. But apparently people said this was like a really good horror visual novel, which is why I'm playing it. It has a strange texture, soft and pliable like a peach or a pear. When I bite into it with my back teeth, a succulent juice fills my mouth, combined with a sharp, strong fragrance. It's unlike anything I've ever tasted. Bro.
何か味付けとか調理してあるのかこれ？
Ooh.
調理ってほどのことはさばいてからちょっと溶かして食べやすくしただけ。
Bro. Ah. I pick up a different lump, this one consisting of fruity flesh around a hard core. Oh god. Tearing a chunk off in my mouth, I find that it has a similar taste to the last one.
ねえ、大丈夫？それって
Oh, even I can eat this. In
僕で
fact,
も
it's
食べ
good.
られる味だ。
Bro.
手よりうまいよこれ。
そうなの？
Dinner time. No, Ray. No, this is not dinner time. This is not dinner time. This is disgusting. At first, Saya looks dumbstruck, but then she bursts out laughing.
そうなんだ。ふみのりもこういうのが好きだったん
So
だ。
is she trying to make normal food, and now that she knows he likes humans, she's just gonna be like capturing humans and killing them and cooking that up for him? I'm so
さやっ
confused.
ていつもこういうものを食べてたのか。
こんな大物は久しぶりだけどね。
Yeah, though it's been a while since I've had one so big. I usually catch them in the nearby park. In the nearby park, bro. So she catches kids in the park or something and eats them. This is the kind of censored version. It's just on Steam, so I don't know. Ray, you know about this game, so ask me. Is there any nudity in this game that I need to be aware of? I don't know. I thought there was gonna be some earlier, so I hid the stream, but I don't know like if there is any or if I don't need to be worried. I mean, if it's censored, I assume probably not, but I feel like it's safer to ask you. There's an impressive nature preserve not far from here. I've never heard about fruits like these growing there, but well, of course, they only look like fruits to me. They're really something else. There is, but the Steam version converted it. Okay, good. I appreciate it. Thank you. Relieves me a little bit. Shouldn't be in the Steam version, so there should be a patch somewhere. Should you? So no, I don't desire at all. Actually, once we're done with this freaking game, we're not touching it again. This is making me uncomfortable.
ごめんね。一番美味しいところはさっきさやが
I already ate the best parts of Bro. What were the best parts of Omi?
でもこれで明日から一緒に食事ができるね。
Won't you get all the endings? I mean, how many are there? And how long does it take to get all the endings? I haven't had any choices yet, so there's 3 endings. How long? Let's go back to Hello Kitty Adventures, right? So, how long is this game then, Ray? It's a short game for a visual novel. Okay, I mean, if it's short, maybe we'll do all of them. But like, I also don't know the choices like that. So, I'll just have to wing it. Where's the save? Oh, quick save. Just in case we get a choice upcoming. 9 hours. Yeah, maybe we'll get them all. We're not sure yet. We'll see how we feel at the end of it, and then I'll decide. I also don't think I'm gonna stream this game like every day in a row. You know what I mean? Because I played like a very wholesome visual novel yesterday. Or well, it's sad, but we haven't gotten to the sad yet. It's why I like alternating a bit. So it might be a while before we get everything done, but I think we will eventually then. It was Clannad. And I know it's depressing, but it's also one of my favorites. So it's been a long time since I've gone through that story. So I'm excited to go through it again and cry my eyes out on stream. Sai seems really happy. I'm happy too, of course. Eating with someone is much more fun than eating alone, and it makes the food taste better too. There's still plenty left. I'll keep it chilled for 2 or 3 days, though it won't taste as good. Ugh.
じゃあ早めに片付けておこうか。
Sealing the small fruits into the Tupperware and the large ones in pots and bowls, Sai and I store the remaining food in the refrigerator. Thinking of tomorrow's dinner fills me with anticipation. Bro. No, I don't think it was what is a visual novel. I think it was they're asking which one. Like, which one was I talking about? I feel that little by little I'm starting to regain the joy of living. Okay. Sai will guide me. With her, I can live on. Bro, so we just killed Omi. So what's gonna happen with Koji and Yo? True Scary Stories Hospital Edition? What? What does this mean? Chapter 4, The Monster in the Hospital. A medical student relates his shocking experiences. Will you believe him or not? Strange things started happening at the hospital around the end of last spring. Began with patients waking up in the middle of the night screaming. They all spoke of terrifying nightmares, and many of them had to be sedated. Some patients even transferred to other hospitals because of it. Oh geez, so Sai actually was just in the hospital slithering around like a little monster. The weird thing was they all had the exact same dream, a dream about some horribly disgusting monster staring down at them from their bedside. Bro. So that's what the normal people without a disorder see. Since he has the disorder, that disgusting monster is actually just Sai's the cute girl. But the really strange stuff started happening after that. There used to be a lot of stray cats around campus looking for scraps from the students. One day the cats suddenly disappeared, and it wasn't that they'd stopped coming, it was more like they'd vanished from the area entirely. Oh, I know where they went. Sai's stomach. And then people stopped walking their dogs around. According to rumors, the dogs were refusing to go anywhere near the school. Eventually, things started going missing in the hospital. Organs, to be precise. Transplant organs kept disappearing from storage. People came close to losing their jobs over it. And it wasn't just 2 or 3 times that it happened. They tried to keep it from the students, but we heard it was a lot worse than that. Huh? People started saying that there was something living in the hospital. The janitors would find strange messes that could only have been made in the middle of the night. Traces of something that had crawled down the hallway, or weird stains caused by something dripping through the ceiling. The late shift nurses talked about hearing strange noises on the same nights. That patients woke up screaming. There's one last story, one you can never mention inside the hospital. One day, the obstetrics department went crazy. They say that a newborn had disappeared in the night. If that were true, the police would have come and it would have been all over the news, but they said the big shots managed to make it all go away. What? Yo, someone knows about this. Like, the big shots know about this monster and they're keeping it under wraps. These strange incidents suddenly stopped towards the end of summer. Now there are almost no patients complaining of nightmares, and the cats have started coming back to campus. But still, what happened in the hospital that summer? Even now, just thinking about it gives me the creeps. Oh, so that's what happened when Fuminori was in the hospital, but now that he's gone, Saya's not there either. Saya's living with him. So, like, the cats aren't vanishing, and no weird stuff is happening at the hospital anymore because it's all in his house. All the cafe. Beep, 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 beep. No answer. He was trying to call Omi. Straight to voicemail. This is the 3rd day in a row that they haven't been able to get in touch with Omi. Oh, bro. There's no sign that she returned to her apartment. Even her family doesn't know anything. Her parents have already filed a missing persons report.
まああいつのことだからな。何事もなかった
Is
み
that
たいに
really the stance you should be
どっこい
taking as
顔
your
出しそうな気も
boyfriend?
するんだが。
If my partner was gone for 3 days, bro, I'd be like, hey, yo, like, what's going on? They either ghosted me or they're dead.
だといいけど。
Yo replied with a gloomy expression. She's worried about Omi, of course, but the incident with Fuminori 3 days ago must still be weighing on her as well. Yo hasn't seen Fuminori since then, and Fuminori hasn't made any effort to approach her or Koji. 4 people used to meet in this cafeteria between classes, but now there are only 2.
ねえ、トノくん、もう一度考えてみようよ。
He's keeping a strong face for
どこ
Yo.
かオミ
That's
ちゃんに
true.
来そう
Oh,
な場所に
yeah, actually, that's very
心
true.
当たり
I didn't think about
な
that.
い？
いや、一通りは確かめたしな。
It's a lie, of course. Koji knows where Omi planned to go that evening, but he doesn't want to bring Fuminori up in front of Yo. Oh, dude, Koji's cool as hell. Sad, but I respect it. Their awkward silence is mercifully broken by the bell signaling the start of the next period.
じゃあ、俺行くわ。
Go on.
うん。
Unless Koji's mistaken, Yo is supposed to have class next period too, but she just sits there staring off into space. Unable to come up with anything to say, he leaves the cafeteria reluctantly. Both Omi's disappearance and Yo's depression worry Koji, and both problems lead back to the exact same place.
海のりは一体。
When Omi went missing, the first thing he did was question Fuminori. After all, the last time he'd seen her was just before she stormed off to give Fuminori a piece of her mind. Fuminori responded with unequivocal denial and acted like he hadn't the slightest idea why Omi would have gone to see him. Perhaps that was only natural, as he was unaware that Omi and Koji had witnessed him reduce Yo to tears. Did Omi even make it to Fuminori's house? She had been riding a wave of emotion when she left. She might have calmed down and changed her mind halfway there. Or perhaps she ran into trouble on the way. Koji concluded, or more accurately, convinced himself that one of these possibilities was the truth, subconsciously denying the one remaining possibility, that Fuminori was lying, that he had met Omi and was involved with her disappearance. When questioned by the police, Koji told the truth about Omi's destination only up to the train station, maintaining that he had no idea where she had planned to go after that. He wanted to cooperate with the search, of course, but Omi couldn't have made it to Fuminori's house. Fuminori said so himself, didn't he? In that case, he'd told the police everything they needed to know. Now, wanting to get the still fragile Fuminori involved, he forced himself to accept this flimsy logic, or not wanting to get him involved. But the conflict is built up inside of him without his notice, leaving unanswered suspicions to fester in his mind. Koji is deep in thought, paying no attention to his surroundings, but perhaps that is what allows him to catch sight of his friend's back through the crowd. Honestly, very well written. You're right. I'm really enjoying it. Honestly, like, it's weird and it's yeah, 100%. I agree with you 100%. It's definitely a weird one, but like the way it's written, like I'm like drawn into it. I'm like, man, like all these things that they're saying are very logical. It just makes sense for the most part. Like I could see me thinking the same thing Koji's thinking at the end of the day, like if I were in this situation. Why is he mocking me though? Why is he mocking me? Koji, bro, what's going on here? Koji's deep without as well as his friends back. Oh, don't tell me he sees Fuminori. Hey, bro. Oh, there he goes. At first, Koji assumes that he's headed to the lecture hall, but it soon appears that he's instead going home. Strange. Medical students have required courses in the afternoon. Though he's initially surprised, Koji's hesitation lasts for only a second. He follows his friend, taking care to stay far enough behind that he won't be noticed. Bro, don't let him go to frickin' Fuminori's house. Oh, that's him. Fuminori wasn't going home, as became obvious when he boarded a train headed in the opposite direction. Koji's next guess was that he was going to see his doctor at the T University Hospital before Fuminori rode straight through the closest station. At first, Koji felt ashamed for telling his friend like this, but his conscience fell silent as Fuminori's actions grew more mysterious. The stranger it gets, the closer Koji feels to discovering the truth behind Fuminori's sudden transformation. Any knowledge would be welcome, no matter how slight. Dang, he's a good friend, even though Fuminori's crazy. I'm gonna jinx it, but I don't want Koji to die. I mean, I didn't even want Omi to die, but I feel like Koji's gonna stick his nose a little bit too deep, and then he's also just gonna go goodbye, and that's gonna be sad. What did that say? Even Koji's beginning to think that there must be more behind Fuminori's change than the accident alone. He wants a more satisfying answer, one that will help him decide whether Fuminori can still be trusted. Fuminori gets off at a small station in a nondescript suburb of Tokyo. Koji follows, trying not to lose sight of him amid the other disembarking passengers. Where would he be going if it's not to the... Oh, he's going to the appointment. Hello. Hello, Captain. How are you? Hope you're doing well. The area is quite desolate, with only a small bookstore, convenience store, and a market in front of the train station. It is easy for Koji to keep Fuminori in view. Where is he going? This doesn't seem like an office. It seems like a house he's going to. But whose house would he be going to? This neighborhood was carved out of the Fuji foothills, and here and there remain steep inclines and wooded areas that escaped assimilation. Koji is amazed that such a quiet place exists, less than an hour out of central Tokyo. Fuminori seems to know these streets. He moves quickly and purposefully through the suburban community, his eyes fixed straight ahead. Before long, Fuminori reaches a house. Without ringing the bell or even knocking, he opens the door and vanishes inside, leaving Koji to wonder how Fuminori can treat the house as his own. After waiting to see if Fuminori comes back out, Koji approaches the gate and checks the nameplate. Old guy. What? That's frickin' Sai's dad? Allegedly Sai's dad, right? Koji has never heard of anyone by that name among Fuminori's acquaintances. Next, his attention is drawn to the thick wad of leaflets sticking out of the mail slot. This, coupled with the general dilapidated feel of the place, suggests that it has been abandoned for some time. A small playground about 2 blocks away provides an adequate vantage point from which to watch the front of the Ogai home. Fortunately, it does not appear to be the sort of house that has a rear exit. Koji settles down on a bench to begin his stakeout. Should have brought more smokes. Oh my god, I've been there for an hour, then another 2 hours, but there remains no sign of movement around the Ogai residence. Soon, twilight settles upon the neighborhood. After Koji's 1 pack of cigarettes runs out, the stakeout becomes a battle against his mounting impatience. He just like me, for real. He kills time by redialing Omi on his cell and sending her short text messages, but his efforts are futile, as he knew they would be. Oh man. When the sky begins to turn deep blue and the streetlights come on, Fuminori finally emerges from the house and heads back toward the station with the same hurried stride. After some brief consideration, Koji decides that right now, investing in the house is more important than tailing Fuminori. Oh, don't tell me he's gonna sneak in. Oh, bro. He rings the doorbell just to make sure. After receiving the expected silence in response, he checks to make sure no one is watching and turns the doorknob. The door is not locked. Oh god, this is freaky. The moment he enters the house, the stale air, thick with mold and dust, fills Koji's nostrils. It is the unmistakable smell of a house that has long lain untouched. There's also a faint hint of something else in the air, something reminiscent of damp sewers and fetid cisterns. Flipping the light switch does nothing. The power must be cut off. Koji uses his cigarette lighter to illuminate the immediate area, and the thick dust covering the floor. He sees several brand new trails of footprints that could only have been made by shoes, Fuminori's. Koji decides to follow suit and dispense with courtesy. He enters with his shoes on. He's like, manners be damned. This place is freaking empty. The lighter's flickering flame pushes back the deathly silence and gloom of the house. Koji is surprised to see the evidence of life remaining. Everything from furniture to tableware and appliances, nothing seems to be missing. The thickness of the dust suggests that the house has been empty for several months, which means that the owner must have left with little more than the clothes on his back. Could he have gone on a long vacation? The calendar in the den is still turned to April, but what are we in, like November? Empty and silent, yet still exhibiting signs of the life that was once lived there. The house reminds Koji of a passenger ship entombed at the bottom of the sea. In the graveyard-like quiet, a sinister thought suddenly enters his mind. No one is living here, but that does not have to mean that the owner is left. Maybe he was murdered and his rotting corpse is right under Koji's feet. He finds himself wanting a stronger light. A flashlight in his hand would make him feel much better. He's gonna go. Oh, I thought he was gonna go home and go get a flashlight and like come investigate another day. Koji follows Fuminori's footsteps to the second floor where he begins to catch a scent of papers in the stale air. There's the smell of old books, instantly recognizable to anyone who has worked in an antique bookstore or library. The first room on the second floor turns out to be a study, its towering shelves packed with such a vast number of books that Koji fears for the stability of the floor. As a medical student himself, he is able to discern at a glance that this study belongs to a medical professional, and a high-level one at that. Judging by the content of the books, a smorgasbord of technical volumes far beyond a simple student's understanding. The owner's interests lie more with medical research than with clinical practice. Well, I'm sure this guy definitely was on one. Fuminori must have spent most of his time here. The scattered dust suggests that he was searching for something, and the contents of the desk drawers are in obvious disarray. A small pile of books stacked on the side of the table catches his eye. Being next to the desk, they must have been the most frequently read. Their nature could shed some light on the character of the person who worked here. What is this song? It sounds kind of lighthearted. Koji frowns as he examines the 3 books. These aren't scientific texts like the rest, but old leather-bound Western tomes like the sort you wouldn't find, the ones that you would find in a rare bookstore. The titles are meaningless to him. Traité de chiffres appears to concern semiotics, but Ars Magna et Ultima is some kind of treatise on divination. And then there's the Voynich manuscript, which looks like some sort of picture book. When he pages through it, he finds the text utterly incomprehensible. Maybe it's some kind of cipher. Whatever they are, they clearly have nothing to do with medicine, refuting Koji's earlier guess that this Ogai was a doctor. Looking down, Koji suddenly notices the glint of something black and metallic underneath the chair. A pocket-sized flashlight, quite out of place among all these dusty books. Fuminori must have brought it in. Oh, illumination. With relief, Koji exchanges his lighter for the flashlight. Its tiny body emits a powerful white beam that casts away the darkness. His courage restored, he decides to explore the rest of the house. Keep it pointed at the roof all the time, so it just friggin' bounces down off the roof. Koji notices something strange that was not visible in the lighter's weaker flame. The slime. Ugh! Oh god, Sayo was here. Bro. Oh no. Here we go again. Dark, oily stains are everywhere. The stains are especially thick around the doorknobs and stair banisters, like someone grasped them with hands wrapped in greasy cloth. Looking closer, he sees places where slime was splashed low on the walls, almost as if a wet mop was run violently across the floor. Dude, they accurately describe things, though. Could Ogai have made these marks? If so, how? Koji begins to feel sick as he imagines a man shambling through the house with slime dripping from his body. Koji, you need to get out of there before you can't. Like, I'm saying that as your homie. You don't know me, but you're my homie. Finding the bedroom next to the study, Koji checks the closet on a hunch. He discovers 2 empty suitcases, not what one would leave behind when going on a long vacation. Sudden chill runs through him. Whoever was living here is still somewhere inside the house. Bro, that's freaky. I hate that line. Suppressing the urge to flee, Koji goes back downstairs to check the first floor. If he finds a corpse, he'll have to call the police right away. He might get away with trespassing if he reports it first, but if they find the body later, it'll be awfully hard to explain his fingerprints all over the house. Yeah, duh. The flashlight reveals the den to be covered in even more slime than the rest of the house. The sofa looks as though it was dredged from the bottom of a swamp. Koji, please get out of there. Water? In the kitchen, Koji takes one look at the sink and decides not to get any closer. He doesn't want any more fuel for his imagination. He reaches the door to the bathroom, a common scene from TV drama. TV dramas flashes through his head, a body with slit wrists floating in the bathtub full of water. Wasn't there a movie where a hitman disposes of his victim in a bathtub filled with lye? Koji braces himself for the worst and opens the door slowly, then shines his light into the ceramic bathtub that appears from the darkness like a white ghost. Please don't be something. Oh, it's empty. Bones. It's not empty. What? A mountain of bones, black with dry flesh and blood. Koji puts one hand against the wall to steady himself as his legs threaten to buckle. Something is wrong, he realizes as he tries to desperately get his thoughts in order. The bones are too small and there are too many of them. Is it all the cats? It's either the cats or the children that went missing from the hospital for sure. They aren't human. Oh yeah. After taking several deep breaths to calm himself, Koji enters the bathroom and examines the tub. The bones are piled atop each other like fallen leaves. They appear to be from small animals, perhaps cats or dogs. Yeah, it's the cat bones that went missing. Even so, the quantity is mind-boggling. How many bodies would it take to produce this many bones? The bones have all been separated from one another, so it doesn't look like the bodies were just thrown into the bathtub and left to rot. Each bone is covered with deep grooves, marks left by teeth biting through the flesh. Ugh. Bro. Koji's sanity won't let him consider the possibility that a human could have done this. The owner of this house must have kept some sort of carnivorous animal as a pet, giving it the bones of small animals to eat and disposing of their remains in the bathtub. But why not dispose of the leftovers properly? They could have just been thrown out with the garbage, or was there something keeping him from leaving the house? The relief Koji felt when he realized that the bones weren't human is once again under attack. In the first place, what the hell was Fuminori doing here?
どうした、コージ。
Whoa! Why does he know that it's me? Koji whirls around his light revealing Fuminori's expressionless
不
face.
法侵入だぞ、コージ。
I mean, so are you. You don't live here.
お前だって同じ
Yeah,
だろうが。
Fuminori pushes past Koji and looks into the bathtub. He doesn't even flinch at the sight of the bones.
僕はこの家の
A
人と
friend
知
of
り
mine
合い
lives
な
here.
ん
I'm
だ。
just running an errand.
知り合いっていつから一体何者なんだ
Koji doesn't want to believe that the old friendly Fuminori could have had contact with the denizens of this house.
いずれお前にも紹介するよ。僕の恩人とも言える人
Oh
だ。
my god, he's talking about Saya. I'll introduce you one of these days, he says, turning to leave without even a glance at Koji. I owe her my life.
おい文則
Koji runs after Fuminori, his heart finally beating normally
お前
again.
まさか近頃様子がおかしいのはその知り合いっていうやつのせいなんじゃ
Standing in the entrance, Fuminori glares coldly at Koji over his shoulder. The utter lack of emotion in his eyes give Koji pause.
僕の後をつけてきたんだね、コージ。
Oh shit. Yep. Sorry, bro. Koji swallows. What can he say?
そういうのは迷
You're
惑だ。
starting to bother me,
二
Koji.
度
Don't
と
do
や
it
らないで
again.
もらいたい。
あ
Fine. Fuminori walks away without another word, leaving Koji alone in the entrance. Up until this very moment, concern for his friend was still at the forefront of his mind. Now, however, that concern is swiftly giving way to a growing sense of dread. Does the Fuminori he knew no longer exist? Was the person who just stared Koji down an imposter wearing Fuminori's skin? Koji has begun to believe that it might be so. I mean, let's be real, right? That's exactly what it feels like. This is terrible. What a nuisance. Why does he insist on interfering? If he only spoke with me to exchange pleasantries, even I could bear it. But now he's sticking his nose into my business just to satisfy his curiosity. Koji is a perfect example of someone who thinks that it's always good to take an interest in other people's affairs. He probably thinks that he's doing me a favor by prying into my life. He couldn't be more wrong. If he keeps this up, I might have to find some way to deal with him. Oh! We don't want to deal with Koji, bro. He's the homie. Like Sai said, I have to keep my search for Dr. Ogai a secret. Koji could ruin everything. I have time to fully investigate the Ogai residence today. At this rate, it will probably take several days just to go through the study. I didn't believe that I'd find anything to help with the search, but I think there's still a lot to explore. Who knows what I'll discover? The problem is Koji, he knows about the house now. He make things difficult. Excuse me. A hair-raising voice calls as I'm about to pass through my gate. Suppressing a shudder, I put on a fake smile and turn to face the writhing mass of rotten flesh that is staring at me with bulging eyes. Don't tell me it's Yo. Good evening, are you just getting home? Oh god, or is it like a police officer or something? He's investigating the house since Omi's gone.
まあ、
Of course, this is my next door neighbor, Susan, a middle-aged painter, I think, who spends all day at home while his wife works. I haven't had much contact with him since the accident. Why is he suddenly talking to me now? Have you gotten used to living alone?
はい。おかげさまで。
very difficult. You're still young. You have to try to move on with your life.
Oh.
Yeah. What is this? Did he stop me just to deliver a lecture? With such a big house, it must be hard to take care of everything by yourself. I suppose it is rather difficult. Why not hire a caretaker? Didn't your father have one? True. Being a student, you can't afford a lot. I see. The flesh beast undulates foully, as though it has still something to say. The sight of it is driving me close to the edge. Even so, don't you think you should at least tend to your yard? I'd be happy to help. Oh, what a nice neighbor, though. I'm like, hell no. Bro, you haven't even considered your yard in the past, like, 5 months. Now I get it. He's worried that the unsightliness of my house might diminish the image of his own. Damn snob. Oh my god, bro. I flash a token smile, then retreat behind the safety of my gate. I can feel Suzumi's eyes boring into my back all the way to the front door. Oh, everyone stay out of my life. I just want to live together with Saya, alone where no one will ever bother us. Bro, this is so weird. Oh, that's the neighbor. Suzumi Yosuke sighs in annoyance as he watches the neighbor boy retreat into his house. What's with his attitude? Even while talking, he kept his eyes averted as if to avoid looking at something repulsive. Has he always been such an unpleasant young man? No, of course not. When his parents were still alive, he had been a normal youth, a little shy, but sensitive and caring. It must be the stress of his sad situation. If it continues to build, he might start to develop serious mental problems. Or is it too late already? Yosuke wonders as he gazes warily at the Sakisaka yard. Oh, don't talk to your family about it. Even during dinner, Yosuke can't shake the neighboring house from his mind.
どうしたのあなた。難しそうな顔して。
今日ね、隣の
I
家
have
の
a
息子に
bad
会った
feeling
よ。
about the daughter of this family, bro. I have a bad feeling she's freaking next on the menu, bro. They're gonna freaking eat her. Oh, she even knows their name. Oh, that's so sad. Dude, she knows his name. Oni-chan, she called him. Oh.
ああ、庭のこと一言言っておいた。
そうよね。せめてあの匂いだけはどうにかしてもらいたいわよね。
The stink coming from the Sakisaka house grows worse each day, and the Suzumi family is at its wit's
あの草
end.
むらの中に死んだ猫でもいるんじゃないかしら。でも住んでいて気づかないのかしらね。あの匂いに。
まさかとは思うが、生ゴミをそのまま庭に捨てているんじゃあるまいな。
そんな、いくらなんでもそこまで。
いや、
Oh
今
no,
の様子
I'm
だと
bit
やりかねん。
Stop it.
一日中ずっと雨戸を閉め
Resolve,
切って
please.
何を
Bit
やってるのかもわからない。
Hold up.
どういう暮らしをして
I
るの
sit
や。
here and I stare. My bitrate. Oh, 75 kbps, new record. 64, we should go back to green. 11,000. Oh no, this is just fluctuation. 30,000. Oh, bro. Come on. Oh, green. 8750. Alright, full green. Okay, good. Hopefully it stays that way. I'd like to continue for now. No, I wouldn't put it past him. Who knows what he's doing in there all day with the storm shutters closed? What kind of life is he leading?
お兄ちゃん、頭おかしくなっちゃったのかな。これ、ヒロミ。そういう
Did
言
he
い
go
方はダメ
crazy?
よ。
I mean, Hiromi's spitting.
いや、
She knows
あれは本当にちょっと多すぎ
the
てる。
way things are going. I'm starting to wonder if he's
変
gone
質
paranoid
狂
or
か何
something.
かかもしれんな。
Paranoid is such an understatement. It's not
大
even
丈夫
funny.
なのそれ。
早く自覚して医者にでも言ってもらわんことにはなんともな。
The seconds crawl by, each tick of the clock compounding my agony. When I returned from the Ogai residence, I was greeted by a silent, empty home. Sai had vanished without leaving any clue as to her whereabouts. It isn't rare for her to go on walks at night. I've often gone with her. However, such outings always take place in the middle of the night, when no one is around and never lasts for more than 2 hours. Yeah, no one around because she's a freaking monster, bro. Right now it's 5 in the morning. Soon the sky will begin to show the first light of dawn. Oh, it actually is 5 in the morning too, for me. Perfect, look at that. Even if she left right before I returned, she's still been gone for almost half a day. Can't sleep. I can only wait in anguish. I tried to distract myself by painting more rooms, but I couldn't concentrate on the work. If I had known this would happen, I would have left the Ogai house sooner. I wish I hadn't wasted time on Koji. If Saya doesn't return, the thought makes me want to tear out my hair after its long absence. The terror of true loneliness is too much to bear. Oh, at last the cowbell chimes and Saya's long-awaited "I'm home" rings out from the bottom of the stairs. As I jump out of my bed in relief, all of the stress that has built up through the night is released in a wave that threatens to sweep me off my feet.
疲れた。やっぱり往復すると遠いな。
Where'd you go?
さや、一体どこに？
The question trails off as I notice the thick bundles of paper that she's carrying under her arms.
それは
文則のカルテとか手術の記録。
What?
今日は古巣の病院に行ってきたの。
Saya drops her bundles on the floor, sending papers flying everywhere, then pulls her favorite cushion over and collapses into it, stretching luxuriously.
こんな夜中に T 台から歩いて戻ってきたのか。
Oh no, don't scold her now.
ごめんね。本当はもっと早く帰れると思ってたんだけど、調べ出したらキリがなくて。結局全部持ち出してきちゃった。ああ、重かった。
Maybe it's just the exhaustion, but I'm not understanding a word Saya is saying.
だからそんなもの持ってきてどうするつも
Oh
りなんだ。
lord.
どうするって、もちろん調べるのよ。うちで時間かけてじっくり。
This is so weird. So is it a monster that to him is actually like, say we're not seeing it from Fuminori's POV, like from a regular human's POV, is it actually just a slime monster holding up MRI freaking graphs? Because if so, that's crazy. At first, I think she's just playing around, but the occasional mutters of, better check this one. Oh, I see. Well, that was silly of them. And the like, as she separates photos into a growing pile besides her, makes me think that this might not be a joke after all. Also, she knows the surgery was botched, and that's why.
わかるのか、こういうの。
パパにいろいろと教
Like
わ
I
った
say,
か
her
ら。
dad. She flashes me and green, then returns to the papers. So that's how it is.
そういうこと。これじゃいつまで経っても直せないよね。
It can't be fixed. Nura, what's up? How you doing? You know what's so funny to me? I love that your emote, like, use that same one yesterday when you joined. And I love how you also have the same eyes as me. I think ours are on opposite sides though. My right eye is the red one. If you're from my perspective, obviously as a viewer perspective, mine's is left is red, but your emote is just the opposite. I was like, that's cool. Hi. Hello, hello. Yeah, we're playing a much worse visual novel than yesterday. This one's actually just freaky and creepy in every capacity. Twins? Twins, indeed. Indeed. But yeah, no. This one is a lot more uncomfortable than the one yesterday. It's very freaky and grotesque, I would say. So just be mindful as you sit here and chill. But I'm glad you're here. Thanks for hanging out. Alright. Other than that, she flashes me with a grin, then returns to the papers. So that's how it is. No wonder it can't be
直
fixed.
せないのか。
Oh, she's talking about his illness for sure, bro.
人間のお医者さん
Not
じゃ
by a human doctor. Contrary to what? A monster doctor? An inhuman doctor? I can't tell if she's being serious.
私でも
Even
まだちょ
for
っ
me,
と
it'll
難
probably
し
be
いか
tough, she
な。
says offhandedly, even as her
い
hand
ろいろと
continues to
試
shuffle
してから
papers.
でないと。
Experiment first, bro. Even for me, it'll probably be tough, she says offhandedly, even as her hands continue to show papers. I'll have to experiment first. Watching more closely, I realized that her eyes are scanning each page rapidly, so rapidly, in fact, that I was unable to notice it at first. Does I actually be reading my charts?
なあさや、
She's actually a brainiac? She answers coolly, looking up from the
今日はもう
charts.
疲れたし、
Tired, let's go.
寝ないか。
Hmm,
文則がそうしたいならそうする。
that's what you want. Saya tosses aside the paper she was sorting and leaps on me and begins to tear off my clothes. Oh, okay. Alright, we're censoring this. Hold up. I know you said the censored version is on Steam, but I have to make sure. I'm about to get a crazy scene here.
ねえ、寝
Just
る前
once
に
before bed?
一回だけ。
Bro, wait a minute.
まあさや、
I don't think it's
Oh, my,
unhealthy,
it's
unhealthy to be doing this every day.
体にと。
え、
Are you
文則
sick?
どこか具合が悪いの？
Not the sauce. That's a pretty good evo. That's a pretty good one. The side-eye cat, bro. Okay.
いや、僕は
No,
別
not
に
me. My body is all grown up,
ちゃん
but
と大人の
you're.
体になってるし、平気なんだ。
Don't
平
worry.
気だよ。
What? She laughs playfully as she pushes me onto the bed. The familiar sweet sensation of her weight and skin rendering me
平
helpless.
気なわけないだろ
But I am worried. We haven't
今ま
used
で
any
否認もしてないっての
contraception.
に
Bro, this is weird now.
ふみのりはさ、
Fuminori, she whispers, staring straight into my eyes. You don't want me to have your children? Bro, what? How can I respond to that?
いやも何も
It's not that. Your body's too
さやみ
small.
たいに小さい
Pregnancy is a
体じゃ
serious
無理だって
burden, you know? Oh, I hear what's
母体の
going
負担
on.
ってのは大
Yeah,
変なんだぞ
something diabolical is going on.
う
It's not really
ーん、
something
ふ
you
み
have
の
to
りが
worry
心
about.
配してることって割と的
Saya
外れ
seems
なんだ
unsure
け
how to
ど。
reply, but not because she doesn't understand what I said. Rather, the bemused look on her face makes it seem as though I'm the one not getting it.
でもそ
I
れっ
know
て
you're just thinking
ふ
of
みのり
me,
が
she
さやの
suddenly
ことを
says,
大事に思ってくれてる
her
からなんだよ
smile
ね。
glowing with innocence, so I'm happy.
それはそれで嬉しい。
Bro. What the hell do I hear? What do I hear? Oh, a bell, okay. By the way, or by the time I break the spell of her angelic smile, Saya has undone my belt and is removing my pants. Come on,
Boy.
Saya.
大丈夫。
Relax, she says teasingly. Tonight I'll do it so you don't have to worry.
ふみのりが
What
心
the
配
hell
し
is
ないような
going
方
on here?
法でしたい
Yeah,
け
we're
ど。
leaving this censored. I mean, we haven't seen, like, I haven't seen any images yet. What? As she finishes, she looks up at me smiling like she just pulled the greatest prank of her life.
これだったら
See, you don't have to
ふ
worry
み
if
の
I
り
do
だ
it
っ
like
て
this.
心配。
Oh,
Yeah,
well, what am I supposed to say to that?
ね
Was it bad?
Dame
Didn't it
tata.
feel good?
え、こういうのだと
Hearing the sudden
Kimuchi-yoku
nervousness in
nai?
Saya's voice, I hastily stammer.
そんな
Of
こ
course
と
it
ない
felt good.
でもさや
But Saya, you didn't have
何
to
も
do
あんな
that.
もの飲み込まなくたって
Oh Lord. Not the lick, bro. Put that away. And the gun. No.
そんな
What? But I
あ
want
れ
it.
はさやにちょう
Suddenly
だい
distraught, Saya
よ
clings to me like a child who just had her candy stolen.
ふみのり
Bro,
のは
I
一滴だっ
want
て
you
残さずに
inside
欲し
me,
い
she said.
さやの
Bro,
中に出し
what?
てほしいの
What is going on here?
中に
Inside you. Saya really does want to bear my children. I'm not averse to the idea. I still think it might be too early, of course, but there isn't much point in worrying about my reputation now. Assuming that Saya and I will be left alone, I even welcome it.
ふみのりは
You don't
いや
like it? She gazes up at me pleadingly. How can I resist?
嫌なんかじ
I
ゃ
do
ないさ
like it as long as you're okay with
さ
it,
や
so
さん
am
それ
I.
でいいのなら僕だって
Saya smiles with relief and burrows contentedly into my chest.
ふみのり
I
大好
love
き
you, Fuminori, she purrs softly. With her body draped over mine, I become even more aware of how light and delicate she is. Can this tiny girl and I really live as husband and wife? I feel a pang of self-loathing at the question. How can I still be afraid after all that's happened? Saya's feelings are so earnest, how can I not accept them? I need to resolve once and for all to rid myself of the useless trappings of morality. Saya and I are all that matter. There's no point in worrying about what others think anymore. Although I suppose I should still talk to Saya's garden, of course. I need to find Dr. Ogai as soon as possible. Bro. We're off for the weird scene now. I need a drink. This shit got me fucked up. I hate this. This is just weird. But yeah, I'm gonna grab a drink. Give me a second. Oh my god. Oh my, I'm over here talking to myself like a clown. Thank you, Map. I appreciate that. I was trying to explain what exactly the plot was like a dumbass, and I'm just muted, straight goofy. No, I was explaining to Nura what exactly is happening in this game. I was saying that our protagonist Fuminori was like a normal college student, just a med student, and we were on like I guess a trip with our family, and we got into an accident, and our family, like our mom and dad, died, but us, we were in critical condition, I guess, and they were saying there's no way we're gonna survive unless we do some surgery that doesn't have, like, it has a really low success rate, and so, but it was the only way we were gonna be able to survive. So, yeah, they did that surgery, and now it pretty much changed how we perceive things, I guess. So now everything that we see is all fucked up and like gory and mushy blood, monster flesh, blah blah blah. But what everyone else sees is normal, obviously. So to him, this hallway would look disgusting. It'd be like just covered in flesh and blood and slime everywhere. But everyone else is normal. So he sees pretty much like the horrific version of what everyone else sees. You can't perceive like normalcy, I guess, anymore. Whereas Saya, to him, is normal. But based on what happened to the girl before you joined, she's like some monster that killed her. So yeah, that's it. That's all I was saying. I was just trying to explain it so those who joined after the fact just know what's going on exactly, you know what I mean? 2 o'clock, but I really appreciate you letting me know that I was muted, because if you didn't say that, I would have just been ranting this whole, I would have been reading all this just silently. No one would have known what was happening. 2 o'clock for Suzumi Yosuke. This is the most fulfilling time of day. Suzumi Yosuke, is that our neighbor still? Yeah, after seeing his wife and daughter off, taking care of the morning chores and eating a leisurely lunch, it's finally time to sit down at his easel. Oh, he paints, I forgot. He's not a particularly popular painter, and he would only hold an exhibition if you were hurting for money. However, the design work he does on the side ensures that there's always enough to support his lifestyle. It's cool. You're not like famous, but what you do earns you enough to comfortably support your family. That's a dream. Alongside the salary his wife earns working for a magazine, they're able to pay their mortgage and send their daughter to school and still have plenty left over. Oh, that's a very nice little dream. Sign me up. Too bad I can't paint. Ah, man. Look. Yosuke's life is perfect, leisurely and absent of want. Can't say that much about most people. He loves his house, considering it is the symbol of his success. When he mows the lawn, polishes the windows and floors, and cleans the kitchen, toilet, and bath, he feels the same joy as he does when washing his own body. Just as he knows the length of his fingernails and the time since his last meal, he also knows everything about his home's condition, the status of every door, the freshness of every flower, the amount of ice in the ice tray, every last detail. This is his pride, and when he sits in his studio, smelling the turpentine, and knowing that each element of his house is in perfect order, he feels the ultimate satisfaction. I wonder if that's what motivates him to paint. While trying to find the right combination of paints on his palette, he suddenly feels thirsty, but soon remembers that there isn't much orange juice left in the refrigerator. Oh god, he's gonna go out, and this is gonna be the end of him. That's it. I can already tell. In fact, it's also about time to stock up on bath additive and powdered soap. Get everything at the supermarket when he goes to shop for dinner, but it'll probably be quite heavy. So he's gonna go get some of it now. Oh lord. Now then, where should I leave off to go shopping? As he ponders this dilemma, he heads downstairs to the kitchen. Just then, a breath of air tickles the back of his neck, bringing him to a halt in the middle of the hallway. Why would he feel air like that without AC? There's going to be a door open or something. A breeze. Impossible. Every window in the house is closed. Yosuke shut them himself during his morning cleaning. Yup. His daughter. Go check on your daughter. Yosuke enters the living room searching for the source of the breeze. Something stinks. It's the same pungent smell of fetid swampland that emanates from the Sakisaka house. The window facing the yard next door is open, its curtains billowing loosely in the gentle breeze. There's a hole in the glass next to the lock. It looks strange, like it was melted by some chemical instead of broken. Someone must have reached through the hole to unlock the window. Yosuke stands paralyzed, his heart pounding with anger and fear. Yep, this is about to get weird. It's about to get weird. He listens carefully but hears nothing. Perhaps the intruder has already finished his business and left. The burglar wouldn't have left the room untouched, or would he? Maybe he heard Yosuke coming in and hid somewhere nearby. Yosuke realized that his still wet palette knife is in his right hand. He must have forgotten to put it aside before going downstairs. He stares numbly at the knife for a moment, then decides that it's not enough protection. Instead, he grabs the ashtray sitting on the table, made of thick, solid glass that is big and heavy enough to serve as a weapon. The home that he thought as part of himself now seems utterly alien. Keenly aware of the thumping of his heart, Yosuke looks around the living room and sees little that could be used as a hiding place. The intruder must have gone either to the guest room or through the dining room to the kitchen. The kitchen is close to the stairs. If there had been movement, Yosuke would have noticed it when he came down, which means that the guest room is the most likely place. He shuffles over to the guest room door and prepares to slide it open. But what is that stench? Could the breeze alone carry something so foul? It's as if the odor is coming from inside the room. Please don't be his daughter. Please don't be his freaking daughter or wife eating, bro. Please, God. He readies his ashtray and throws open the door. Nothing. The straw-matted Japanese-style room is empty. There is a closet, but no one could fit in there. Is that something you should so readily assume? So the intruder already left. Yosuke relaxes, the exhaustion of a sudden relief coming over him. You already saw them away, remember? Oh, yeah, that's true. You're right. Then that is when something seizes his ankle. Instantly he freezes in shock, his leg is yanked out from under him, sending him crashing to the floor. Stars explode behind his eyes as his head smacks against the door rail. The hand, if it can even be called that, wrapped around Yosuke's ankle, extends all the way back to beneath the living room sofa. Bro, what? Freaking tentacle monster. There are barely 5 centimeters between the sofa and the floor. Whatever is hiding there can't possibly be human. Before the screaming Yosuke can regain his footing, a countless hand-like appendage seizes his arm and legs, rendering him helpless. Calm down, don't be scared. Oh, bro. Saya. As the hideous voice burbles in his ear, something cold and soft crawls atop him. Ew. Yosuke can't even scream. His terror is so great. It won't hurt. Don't be scared. It won't hurt. Thin tube-like appendages penetrate his ear and nose, rippling deep into his skull. Right before the sensation drives him mad, Yosuke loses consciousness. Oh, Jesus Christ, bro.
お時間を取っていただいてありがとうございます。
Oh, they're seeing his freaking therapist or whatever. It's like post-surgery. What? Right? Even without her light makeup. Wait, what? Koji says his humble bow concealing his surprise at the doctor's youth. Even without her light makeup, she wouldn't look a day over 30. She must be quite talented to be a leading neurosurgeon at such a young age.
いいのよ。あなたたちみたいな人が来てくれたのは
He has
私
good
として
luck.
もありがたいところだし。
Don't mention it. I was hoping somebody like you would come along. Her friendly smile has none of the coldness one might expect from her. Such sharp, refined beauty.
はじめまして。崎坂文則くんの主治医の田んぼです。
文則の友人で殿尾浩二と言います。
This is a roller coaster of emotions,
Tsukuba Yo.
right? Yo gives a quick bow, her expression apologetic. When they arrived at the T University Medical Center and asked to see Fuminori's doctor, Koji and Yo had been prepared for rejection. They hadn't expected the ease with which their request had been granted.
崎坂くんの件について話が聞きたいっていうこ
Oh,
と
she's
だ
like,
け
I
ど、
also don't know what's wrong.
それは
All I know is
私
that
の
he's
方でも
fucked
同じ
up.
でね。
は
Oh, Lord.
彼、一昨日の診察に来てくれなかったのよ。留守電に入れた伝言にも返事がないし。
Oh, great. 2 days ago, the same house Fuminori was searching that abandoned house. Koji frowns, wondering what was important enough for him to blow off his appointment. Anything with Saya,
彼、
really?
学校ではどんな様子？
どうもこうももうめちゃくちゃです。
Seeing Yo's shoulders jerk out of the corner of his eye, Koji regrets not choosing his words more carefully.
事故の前とまるで人が違ったみたいに見えます。僕たちもいろいろとどうしていいかわからなくて、それで今日は先生の話を伺えたらと。
あなたたちも医大生？
はい。
彼のカルテ見てみたいと思う。
Oh, bro.
見せてくれるんですか、そんなもの。
Incredulous. Dr.
そう
Tombo
思った人が
removes
いるみ
himself
たい
silently
な
for a
のよ。
moment, then sighs and
そ
says,
れも病院には無断で
someone
ね。
wanted to see it and without the hospital's
お
permission.
とといの晩、この
Files were
病院に
stolen
誰
from
か
the
が押し
archives
入
2
ってね、
nights ago, so Saya
保管
did
庫か
steal
ら
them.
咲坂君のカルテを盗んでいったの。
本当ですか？
She stares hard at the astonished students, then shakes her head with a tired smile.
まあ、あなたたちは無関係そうね。ちょっと安心したわ。
Yeah, she was gauging them to see
当
if
たり
they
前です。
stole them.
でも、犯人は咲坂君の容体に興味があるか、それとも彼の治療記録を
As
消し
long
た
as
か
you
っ
have
た
something left, right?
いずれにせよ、彼に関わりのある人間としか思えないわ。
The game is 8 out of 10. She is 10 out of 10. You know what? Yeah, I agree. She looks very cute.
はあ。
I see. An ominous thought flashes through Koji's mind. It couldn't have been Fuminori himself, could it? Well, he thinks he took his own records. Koji looks at Dr. Tambo and finds her staring right back at him. Her expression grave, he realizes that she must be harboring the same suspicion.
あなたには他に心当たりはない？咲坂君の知り合いでそういうことをやりかねないような人。
Perhaps Dr. Tambo didn't have anyone in mind when she asked, but Koji's thoughts immediately fly to the eerie house to which Fuminori led him.
知り合いだか何なのか自分にもよくわからないんですが、
Oh
多
no.
分医
She's
者
just
か
gonna
医
shut
学
it down,
関係
right?
の人で、鴎外っていう。
Koji stops speaking as he sees the dramatic change that has come across Dr. Tambo's expression.
ご存知なんですか？
Oh lord. Like, yeah, I saw him at his house.
咲坂君がその男と
You know
い
when and
つ
where
どうやって知り
Fuminori
合
met
ったの
that
かわ
man.
かる？
いえ、こっちが知りたいぐらいです。先生、一体何者なんですか、あの鴎外っていう人は。
After remaining silent for some time, Dr. Tambo looses a heavy sigh.
いいわ。その気になれば簡単に調べがつくことだし。鴎外正彦はうちの大学にいた教授よ。
Uh-huh.
いろいろと不祥事があって半年以上前に免職になったけど。
Okay, well, don't freaking make it vague by saying following certain incidents. Explain.
不祥事って一体何を？
そこから先は部外者に話せることじゃないわ。どの
It
み
has
ち
nothing to do with your
Sakisaka
friend, bro.
君は
She's
何の
so
関
in
係も
on
ない
this,
ことよ。
bro. I hate this. Koji has no arguments with which to answer Dr. Tambo's flat rejection. However, he can't shake the feeling that this is Ogai's person. This Ogai person is the key to unraveling the mystery surrounding Fuminori.
先生、もしかしたら咲坂文則は
He says making his own Fuminori
刑事事件に関わっているかもしれないんです。
This sudden declaration, both Yo and Dr. Tambo raised their eyebrows.
どういうこと？
彼を訪ねていったっきり行方不明になってしまった人間がいます。もちろん文則は否定していますが。
それって近江ちゃんのこと？
Koji is unable to bear the shock in Yo's voice.
すまん、つくば。君には言えなかった。
Dr. Tambo is frowning, her expression even more serious than before.
その鴎外という人物が今文則の関心の焦点になっているらしいんです。彼が何者で文則が彼の何について探っているのか、それが分かれば少しは事情が見えてくるかもしれません。
Yeah.
お願いです、先生、教えてください。この病院で一体何があったんですか？
Come on, you might as well just come clean, bro. Dr. Tambo hesitates for some time, refusing to make eye contact, but she finally shakes her
ご
head.
めんなさい。こればかりは
They know what they did to this
私の一度で話せる事柄じゃないの。
to this guy.
先生、
でも少しだけ待って。私は私なりにいろいろと調べてみる。放っておける状況じゃないのはよく理解できたから。
お願いします。
Koji's out of options. All that is left is to trust the young doctor. It's frustrating, but a friend's rights only go so far.
お互い携帯の番号を交換しておきましょう。
Oh, that's
何
nice
か
of
分
her
かっ
at
たら
least.
連絡するわ。 あなたたちも何か新しい動きがあったらすぐに私に教えて。
Info for info.
ええ、わかりました。
Man, this is a good game, but it's definitely weird too. Oh, what happened to me? Yosuke's awareness returns slowly as though rising from a bog. He's cold. No, hot. Suddenly he itches like tepid tongues and cold slugs crawling over his skin. What the hell's going on? Timidly, he opens his eyes. Oh, don't open them, bro. Oh, and he's in the house. Why does he see it the same way that Fuminori sees it? I don't get it. It's everywhere. The thing that attacked him in the living room, it's everywhere. Terror shatters Yosuke's sanity. Oh. It's really saucy though, it's crazy. He throws off the thing lying atop him, but his wild flailing sends him crashing to the floor. But is it really the floor? The long, wriggling fibers of what should be a good carpet are winding themselves around his fingers. The floor is made of worms. Ew. What kind of sauce, Nura? Barbecue? Korean barbecue? Hot sauce? I don't know. One's better than the rest. He tears his limbs free of the worms and tries to stand, but loses his balance and tumbles to the floor again. The worms immediately swarm over his body. Where am I? Where did that thing take me? Yosuke crawls around the worm-ridden floor towards the only exit from the pulsating room. When he gets outside, however, all he can see is blood, bile, and rotten meat. There's no place to run. Also, this is actually what Fuminori's house looked like, and this is what he sees too. Most terrifying of all, this hellish place is the same layout as Yosuke's house. In a half-mad daze, he wanders through the nightmarish mockery of his home. In the small room where his studio should be, he finds an easel made of bones displaying a blood-soaked canvas. Slop sauce, that little mixture of juices from leftover mixing. Hey, yo, what the? Nasty. I was thinking tonkatsu sauce. No. Friggin' the leftover, the slop sauce. In the room where oh, so this is his house? I'm confused. In the small room where his studio should be, he finds an easel made of bones displaying a blood-soaked canvas, like some cool joke. Everything is exactly where it would be in Yosuke's studio. When Yosuke lashes out against everything within reach. The easel of bone shatters, driving splinters into his fists. He feels the pain, but does not wake him from the nightmare. If this isn't a dream, then what is it? When his strength gives out, Yosuke falls to his knees, sobbing. For the first time in his life, he prays. Oh, bro. The sound of the door opening and closing grates on his ears. Downstairs, the front door. Is someone else here? Tadaima. Yosuke trembled at the blood-curdling sound. It's that thing again. The monster has returned. Daddy, where's dinner? Oh. Wait a minute. Did she infect him? The same thing that Fuminori has? So that he also... Oh, I think that's what it is. I think she freaking messed with his brain because it was like saying that the tendrils went through his skull or whatever. So I'm starting to think that she messed with his brain, so now that he has the same condition that Fuminori has. And then now... Oh, bro. He's gonna see his wife and kid. It's just monsters. Oh, he's not here. Did he go shopping? Oh, he's wielding a bone. He's gonna... Don't tell me he's gonna kill his family. There's no way. Yosuke hears the sound of something slimy sloshing his way up the stairs. Even as he cowers in terror, he slides his trembling hand across the floor and grabs one of the bones from the broken easel. The tip of the bone is nice and sharp if he holds it in both hands and puts his weight behind it. He might be able to use it to defend himself. Bro, I'm not... The monster growls are getting closer. Holding his breath, Yosuke presses back against the wall next to the door. The pounding of his heart is like thunder in his ears, so loud that he fears the creature might hear it. He knows that it will eat if it finds him again, but it's all he can do to keep from crying. At last, the door creaks open. Oh, bro. Yosuke leaps on the creature as it enters, fear turning his roar into a high-pitched scream. The flesh beast is covered in sludge and bile juices, but before horror can paralyze him, Yosuke brings his bone stake stabbing down. The monster screams as the stake pierces his chest and punches through to the other side. It falls back, writhing in agony. The sight of its pain sets Yosuke's blood on fire. I can win. I can kill it. If I finish it off before it enters my head again, I'm safe. Yosuke grabs the bone and twists it with all his might. The monster convulses and gurgles, his trembling tentacles reaching up as though begging for help. He's killing his wife, bro. This is so fucked up. I hate Saya. Yosuke knocks it to the floor, then brings his heel crashing down onto his flopping body again and again. With each stomp, its groans and spasms grow weaker. When the monster at last stops twitching, Yosuke, panting hard, tears the stake from his corpse and rises to his feet. Bro, don't tell me he does anything. Papa, mama. And he's just like, just stabs her too. No! No! Run! Run! Yosuke turns around to see another smaller monster peeking out at him from the stair landing. There's still one left. His desperate, rage-filled attack. What is that? The shake. Yup, just strangle him. His desperate, rage-filled attack both exhilarated him and gave him a taste for violence. This one will be easier. It's smaller and weaker. Grinning maniacally, Yosuke raises his stake and moves towards the second creature. The monster flees, screaming down the stairs. Not about to let his prey escape, Yosuke roars and gives chase. Thought that killing the monsters might end this nightmare feast. He feeds his savage bloodlust. No, daddy, no. Bro. Oh my. When the monster trips and falls in the dining room, Yosuke leaps on top of it, brings the stake crashing down. His bloodlust unsated, he pulls it free and drives it again into the monster's flesh once, twice, 3 times, and more until there's nothing left but shredded, pulverized meat. Bro, this is fucking... Oh my god, this is so terrible. Eventually, the only sound in the house is Yosuke's heavy breathing. He has slain 2 monsters, but the nightmare shows no sign of ending. Yosuke staggers to the front door and goes outside. Sky, the city, everything has gone mad. Twisted shapes, nauseating colors, stinking air. There is no escape, no ending to this nightmare. The last remnant of Yosuke's sanity vanishes like dust in the wind. And then he's gonna see Saya. Yosuke turns to the sound of a girl's voice. Oh, fuck off. She is standing in front of the house next door wearing a spotless one piece over her pure white skin. In the midst of this blood, in this filth-ridden world, she alone glows with beauty. How do I look to you, mister? Oh, bro. Yosuke feels a sudden black lust rise within him. Really? The experiment might be a success. Let me close my eyes real quick. You might need to close them for more than just a couple seconds, because this shit's fucked. Yosuke walks up to the strangely jubilant girl and brushes his hand against her long, smooth hair. I'm so confused. I mean, I'm not confused, but like, so she experimented on him? That's what it was? Wait a minute. What if... I'm starting to think that she's using Fuminori as like the zero subject, whatever you want to call it. I forget how to say it properly, but she's using him as like subject 0. And now that she knows that she can manipulate people, like she was using this guy as an experiment to see if she could make someone else into her like slave, I guess, or whatever, and if they would see her as a cute girl where she can make them do her bidding, you know what I mean? That's what I'm thinking. So now she's gonna try and convert everyone. Oh, I think she's actually trying to help him? In what way? How could she be trying to help him? I feel like she's trying to get everyone on her side. Oh, wait. Unless you mean that she experimented to see what needed to happen in his brain to trigger this anomaly that he's dealing with now, to see if she can reverse it in Fuminori. Is that what you mean? If that's what you mean, then I can see that possibly, but I'm also not sure. I feel like she's like a lustful creature, but at what cost? To reverse it back again, like she said she would. Okay, yeah. So you're thinking, so I understand where you're coming from. You need to know how to make it happen first, yeah. But then I would assume she would probably reverse it on this guy too, no? At what cost? Right? The cost of his daughter and child. Oof.
こんな可愛らしい女の子はこの世界には
Must be
君
the
一人
only
しかい
one in the
ない
whole
んだ
world, bro. What about your daughter? The one you just freaking shanked like freaking 5 times with a
おじさん
bone. She looks up at the man towering over her, perhaps disturbed by his hungry
お
stare.
嬢ちゃん
How about we play a
おじさんと遊
game,
んでくれる？
bro? This is about to get weird, I already know.
いいけど何するの？
Alright, I'm gonna have to censor this. A grin parts Yosuke's lips and he replies,
そりゃも
everything that will
う
please
お
me,
じさ
of
んが
course.
楽しめそうなこ
Bro,
と全部さ
this guy's a fucking freak. Come on. With that, he grabs the girl's collar and tears the front of her dress wide open. Alright. Censor. Make sure nothing shows up. Shock and fear twist the lovely girl's delicate features, stimulating Yosuke's sadism. Even after killing those 2 monsters, the embers of violence still smolder in his heart, and now they new fuel to burn.
いい顔だ
Oh,
よお
I
嬢
like
ち
the
ゃん
expression on you. Won't you show
お
me
じ
an
さんに
even
もっ
prettier
と可
one?
愛ら
Oh,
しい
he's a
顔をして
freak.
見せてくれないかい
Bat, close your eyes. I closed everyone's eyes besides my own for this to make sure I'm not trying to get smited on stream. No, no, the terrified girl flees into the Sakisaka house. Yosuke runs after her, feeling the joy of the hunt. Bro, we're gonna kill him as Fuminori. He's gonna be like, there's some freak trying to get me, and we're just gonna murder him. Even in desperation, she has no hope of outrunning his longer stride. Yosuke charges down the hallway and catches up to her in the kitchen. He grabs her from behind and wrestles her to the floor before she can resist. Oh, bro, he's all on top of her. Okay.
そんなどうして
Let me go. Why are you doing this?
だから言っ
Like I
た
said,
だろ
because you're too cute.
お嬢ちゃんが可愛らしすぎるからだって
Bro. Enjoying the sensation of her thin arm struggling futilely against his grip, Yosuke uses his weight to hold her down while ripping off her remaining scraps of clothing. No, I don't want this. Stop. Yosuke stares at the smooth, perfect body of the girl flopping beneath him. Thought of violating such an immaculate creature amidst the horrors of this twisted world is irresistibly erotic. Bro, that's disgusting. What the fuck is wrong with this guy? Yosuke runs his tongue over her stomach and chest as though preparing to eat her whole. She stiffens and whimpers at the sensation. This is fucking nasty. Yeah, that emoji is right. Like, bruh, what the fuck am I looking at? This isn't supposed to be this way. Her tear-choked voice satisfies Yosuke's lust for conquest. This nightmare has violated him, but now he's able to visit the same torment on this innocent girl. Where he was the victim, he is now the victimizer. The release he feels is intoxicating. No, stop, I'm scared. Fuminori. Oh, we're about to freaking murk him. I think we're gonna uncensor because I don't think, since I was told this is censored, I think we're okay. Yeah, this is the scene right now, and I'm assuming Fuminori's about to come up and just bash him on the back of the head with something. I haven't even done anything yet. Putting his mouth close to the sobbing girl's ear, Yosuke whispers, "You're this scared already. How I always scream when I put it in you, bro." Okay, this is fucking nasty now. Stop. Help me, Fuminori. Murk this man. Murk this man. Wait, are we, as always, the size of the city grate on my nerves today? However, I don't feel as much hatred as I usually do. Huh? I've grown more accustomed to my condition, but that is not the reason for today's high spirits. My search of the Ogai house has finally borne fruit. When I pulled all the drawers out of the desk in the study, I found an envelope stuck between the desk and the wall. It must have fallen off the back of the writing tray. Inside were 3 outdoor photographs. I couldn't recognize the scenery due to my condition, but I'm pretty sure that they show 3 buildings. Scrawled on the back of each photo was an address. Nagano Prefecture, M Village, Tochigi Prefecture, S Town, Shizuoka Prefecture, H Town. None of the names is familiar, so they must be way out in the countryside. The photos are all dated more than 10 years ago. I don't know why they were taken or what they mean, but maybe Sai will be able to make some sense of them. Oh yeah, we're gonna walk in and just murder this man. Fucking freak. In any case, this is something that even Saya missed while she was living in that house. I wonder how she'll react when I show her what I've found. Saya, I want so badly to see her. The thought of her waiting for me speeds my footsteps. Until you hear her screaming your name. When I step through the gate, I see that the front door is wide open again. This is the second time this has happened. Upon entering the house this time, however, the sound of Saya crying chills my blood. Oh god, I'm scared. And it's not just her, I also hear a low, wet grunting. Huh? Oh, so it's gonna be a human. To him, it's gonna be a human. No, it's gonna be one of the slime monsters assaulting her from Fuminori's perspective. There's no time to take off my shoes. I race down the hallway, propelled by a terrifying premonition. The monster's in my house and it's attacking Saya. Alright, we're gonna turn that off real quick. Hold up. To make sure. The filth oozing from his body spreads across her skin as it moves with animal ferocity. She looks at me with tear-filled eyes and calls my name in a weak, breathless voice. Right? Yep, that's how I'm feeling too. Sus. Fuminori. Sasuke. Rage erupts inside me like black lava. The monster stops from gorging itself inside his body and turns its head to look at me. Alright, we're back to a normal scene. Surprised by my own composure, I slipped past it and grabbed the meat cleaver sitting next to the sink. Without a moment's hesitation, I slashed at the monster's face. It screams and staggers away from Saya. My attacks must have blinded it because it flails its tentacles wildly as it tries to drive me away. Oh my god, look at that freaking graphic. Wait. Okay. That's the knife you were wielding, a tentacle-covered knife? Or is that like the remnants of the monster you just slashed? My bloodlust still unsated, I calmly seize one of the appendages and plunge my weapon twice more into his quivering flesh. The blade enters his body with a fascinating ease. Each strike sprays my face with its blood. As I carve the monster to pieces and savor his hideous screams, my mind is finally consumed by rage. No mercy. I'll see this monster suffer for what it has done to Saya. I give myself to the fury, howling at the top of my lungs as I slash and slash and slash and slash. Even after the flesh beast stops moving, I keep slashing until I realize that I can no longer feel pain. Cursing myself for killing it so quick, I stab the cleaver into the floor, snapping it in half. When my thoughts finally begin to regain some cohesion, I find myself still digging the broken knife into the floor. The monster is gone, but pieces of it are scattered everywhere. I stop cutting into the towel, and in this sudden silence, I hear Saya's faint sobs coming from a corner of the kitchen.
Saya.
Pull the cowering Saya into my arms. She stiffens in fear at first, but as soon as she realizes that it's me, she clings to my body and cries. Weren't you like a god tier monster, bro? How are you getting freaking like murked by this random guy that you murked like 10 minutes prior? I don't know what to say. I can only keep holding her. This should never have happened to Saya. Everything in this twisted world is to blame, yes, including myself. I couldn't protect her. If I'd been here, then maybe I could have prevented this. Not wanting to hear that from her, I pull her head into my chest.
Saya wa nani mo waruku nai. Saya no sei janai.
I try to reassure her, but she shakes her head vigorously in denial. I don't understand. What is she saying?
Kimi ga yatta tte. Nani o?
この人の頭の中を海のりと同じ状態にして
I made him see the world like you do.
海のりが感じるのと同じように世界が見え
You
るよう
were
にした
super right,
の。
Map. You were super right. It takes me some time to understand the meaning of Saya's words.
それは一体どうやって。
Finally regaining her composure, Saya responds to my confusion in a low voice.
私にはそういうことができるの。
What the fuck?
他の私に生まれつき
This
備わっ
ability
てる
since I
能
was
力なの。
born, bro. You're a freaking tentacle monster.
どこをどういじればいい
Organisms
の
do
か
so
は
to study them in detail before I
そ
know
の
how to
生き
change.
物によってまちまちだからちゃんと勉
Is
強
it fun
し
to
て
look
からで
again?
ない
Oh
と
wait,
ダメ
bro.
だ
I
けど
thought I uncensored it already. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, it's fine. It was fine before. I was just reading. I said no. I'm gonna use the restroom. Give me just a second. What the heck did I just come back to? Nura, that's so sweet of you. Thank you for gifting us up to Map. And thank you, Map, for thanking Nura for that. It's very kind of you. That makes me very happy. Just cheese now. I got a roll of bread too. No ads club is a pretty funny way to gift one though, I'll say that. Every organism is different, so I have to study them in detail before I know how to change
み
them.
のりの脳に何があったのか私は下調べして分かって
So
た
she
から
does know what happened.
だから同じことができるかどうか他の人で実験してみたの。
なんでそんなことを。
そうすればみんなふみのりみたいに私に優しくしてくれるようになるかと思って。
Hmm? Wait a minute. I was more so thinking that she was doing it to try and bring Fuminori back, but instead she wants to convert everyone into like an alien monster so that they're nice to her, because if anyone sees her as she is, normally that the way most like that everyone else perceives her besides Fuminori would find her disgusting and like vilify her. But I guess she wants to make everyone like Fuminori so that everyone looks at her and they think that she's like some little angel. Instead, she's just a freak. My heart aches with the loneliness in her voice as she confesses her sorrowful wish.
それなのにこの人は全然優しくなんかなかった。さやのことをいじめたいって壊したいって言ってあんな。
Oh. Why am I saying oh? Bitch is fucked up. We've never seen the world from Saya's perspective. That's true, actually. We haven't, and I'm interested as to what that does look like. starts crying into my chest again, unable to say anymore. I gently rub her back while trying to get my jumbled thoughts together. What is Saya? That she can do such a thing? The answer is beyond me. However, there's one thing that I can answer here and now. Saya is mistaken.
僕がさやに優しいのは僕が事故に遭ったからだって、そう君は思ったんだね。
Oh Lord. I smile and shake my head. Also, she was alone. I mean, she's alone, but I feel like she's also a monster. So I don't want to give her any awns yet. But we don't know. I guess we just don't know. But I think she's, I don't know. I don't like it.
違うよ。
You're wrong. That was only the
それ
beginning.
はただの始まりでしかない。そんな簡単なことじゃないんだよ。僕とさやが出会って、
Time you and I have
それから
spent
二人で
together,
過ご
those
した時間
days,
と
those experiences,
その一
are
日
what
一
made us
日の
what we
積み重ね。
are.
海のり。
あの日から今日までさやと一緒にいた僕だから、さやに優しくして大切にしてあげたいって、そう思う僕になった。
That's how you became so
そ
important
う
to me.
思われるさやになったんだ。これって大変なことだろう。
Saya is still crying, but now her tears feel warm against my chest.
わかってる。さっきやっとわかった。
I'll be honest, I want a nice, warm, comfy visual novel. Like, this feels nice and warm, but when I know the context of what's happened, like, prior, I'm like, ugh. I don't... Freaky. Her smile shines through her tears.
さやには海のりしかいないんだって。
Oh, so she's just not going to
海のりみたいな
experiment on
人は
anyone else. But if she knows how to make someone an alien, or how to mess with someone's cognition like that, surely she can just change Fuminori back. But she won't, because then it'll mean Fuminori will see her as who she really is, which is a monster. Maybe I'm being closed-minded, but that's what I believe. Now, more than ever before, I feel the depth of the bond between us, and I'm sure Saya feels it too. I wrap my arms tightly around her and seal her lips with mine. Saya responds, winding her arms around my neck as our tongues desperately seek each other's warmth. Please don't change it to some freaking tongue-kissing CG. At this moment, Saya is my whole world, and I am hers. The earth turns for us alone. Bro, what? Of course, I still haven't told her something very important. Huh? Why haven't you told her? I don't know why I've never said it before. Perhaps because it was, oh, I love you or something. As it was always so obvious. However, I should put it into words at least once, this oath of mine.
さや、僕は君のことが。
Don't say I stayed.
待って。
Oh. She stops me with a finger against my lips.
その前に海のり。一つだけ。
Don't say you want to spend your life with her, bro. Please, Fuminori.
僕の望み。
Saya nods, staring into my eyes with an unusual solemnity.
さっきも言ったけど、私には私にしかできない方法で。
Oh, don't tell me she's gonna offer him an olive branch or something and be like, oh, I can make you see the world you used to see it before. But he's gonna be like so thankful to her that he's gonna be willing to commit to this fucked up world he's in.
人間の脳をいじる方法もこれでちゃんと確認が取れ
Human
た。
brains.
だから
I mean, this requires a lot of resolve on her part. So it can either make or break her loneliness.
今ならあなたの頭を元の状態に戻すこともできるの。
Bro.
なんだって。
Until now, that hasn't even been in the realm of
そ
possibility.
の人にやったのと逆のことを海のりにしてあげればいいだけ。とっても。
Yep. I replaced Saya's words in my head to be sure of their meaning.
だから海のり教えて。
So what's gonna trump here? Freaking your love for Saya or your longing for your past life?
あなたが昔の暮らしに戻りたいかどうか、あの事故で失ったものを取り戻したいのかどうか。
Oh fuck. Oh fuck. What? Are you kidding me? Wait, what? Why can't I save? Why can't I go to the next file? No, not a quick save. I want a real save. Oh, I've saved it to 2. Stop. Indeed, right? Indeed. Wait, that was load? Open save load menu. Huh? What's happening here? Save. Okay, we'll save in 2, I guess. Alright, we're fine. Oh, thank you. Map, you're just so wise. You just saved me from doing something fucking stupid. Alright, well, we do have a save here now. Which one? Fuck, dude. What do y'all think? What do y'all think? Give me some opinions here. I'm confused. Like, if we were a normal person, what would I do? See, it's not about what I would do. I'm thinking from Fuminori's perspective, to be honest. That's how I play these kinds of games. I like interpret from the main character's perspective and how they would feel. And to me, I feel like he would want to go back because he's living a life of suffering. Like, save Saya. She's the only reason that he's okay living in this fucked up world. But if he doesn't need it anymore, Fuminori has lost his fucking mind. He's committed. Oh my god. We have two different opinions here. I don't know. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Catch a tiger by its toe. If it hollers, let it go. My mom said to pick the very best one, and you are not it. Fuck. So we'd go back to the life we lived before. But let's think about this a little bit more before we commit, right? So he loves Sai. He's willing to do anything for this girl at this point. He's killed people. He's broken the heart of the one girl who had feelings for him. So do we really think it's going to be that easy for him to go back to the normal life? Like, yeah, she can do it, but she might also be upset at us for choosing against her. But there's another thing I was going to say, but I'm trying to remember what it was. Fuck. Ah, my God. Mercs people. What? Have you never heard Merc? You never heard Merc? Maybe that's maybe that's the boomer in me talking. That's not even boomer. That's not even that old. That's like 15 years ago, maybe, that people used to say that. Get merked. It's like the equivalent of get wrecked. We can always, bro, I'm old. I mean, shit, me too. We can always follow after the other. I think from Fuminori's perspective, he's so down into it. He'd be like, people still say it. Okay, yeah, I'm 26. Okay, I'm not gonna say my age, but that's fair. At 26, people still saying it is good. That's a good sign for me, at least. So I don't feel that old anymore. Nani mo iranai. 29. Both of you. Both of you. It's fine. No, we don't talk about my age then. I think we don't need it anymore. I think we commit to Fuminori's perspective. And we commit to Sai on this run, but we have the save here, right? So it's okay. But I also hope this doesn't get us into some fucked up visuals. On that terrible day when I first opened my eyes after the accident, what would my answer have been? When I think back on this many years from now, will I still wish that my answer today had been different? It doesn't matter here. At this moment, there is no doubt in my mind. Who was that? I asked Saya, looking at the unidentified pieces of the monster. The man living next door. I don't know his name. Oh, so she even told us who it was? Bro. He was hardly a stranger. We've been neighbors for as long as I can remember. I'd go so far as to say we're even on good terms before the accident. And now I've killed him with my own 2 hands. I feel little. Mr. Suzumi, the kindly painter who lived next door, is but a distant memory. The pieces of meat around me belonged to a creature whose mere existence was nauseating. Only by killing the vermin could I find relief. He complained about my yard being filthy. The swine. It doesn't matter what Saya did. He wasn't worth keeping alive anyways. These are my honest feelings. My hands are wet with another man's blood, and yet I feel utterly calm. Now I know what I lost in the accident. Saya says I can take it back, but I know that I cannot. It's gone forever, like the life of the man called Suzumi.
なあさよ。僕の異常を治すことは医者には絶対できないことだ。
Don't be like, so how could you have possibly fixed it?
ふみのり
人間にできないことを簡単にできるという君は
Excuse me, Jesus.
人間じゃないんだね。
Oh no, we called her out, bro.
うん
Saya looks away, her expression unreadable. Everything is monstrous and loathsome in my eyes. Everything but Saya. I thought that she was somehow unique. I was wrong. I see her just as I do everything else, as something other than what she really is. Oh, so he realizes now that she's probably some freaky monster. But why should that surprise me? Saya is part of my world, just as I am part of hers. It doesn't change what we are to each other. I stand and walk over to Suzumi's dismembered corpse.
昔読んだ漫画でさ、事故から生き返ったせいで世界が当たり前に見えなくなる男の話
Kind
が
of like you. That's literally exactly like you.
今の僕みたいにね。
I finally realized that even though the stench of these monsters' flesh turns my stomach, their blood and guts smell pretty good. In fact, I know the fragrance quite well.
その男の目には人間が石くれに、
He saw people as rocks and robots as beautiful women, bro.
だから男は人とは似ても似つかないロボットに恋をしてしまうんだ。
I retrieved the cleaver, pick up a piece of Suzumi's body. Smells pretty good, brother. Right? I retrieved the cleaver and start skin and tendons. Just as I thought, the stuff underneath is exactly the same as what Sai and I have been eating.
まあ、これ
Oh, so he knows. I guess that's because we picked the ending that we picked, or the route that we picked. That he knows now that we were eating humans before, so he probably realizes that we ate Omi before. Now, if he thinks about it.
ふみのり
ごめん。今はそんな気分になれないよね。でも、死んじゃえば肉は肉だし、捨てるのももったいないと思わないか。また冷蔵庫にしまっておこうよ。
Jesus, I wonder if he's gonna make her like uncomfortable now.
あなたはいいの
I really want to see what
Ew.
Saya actually looks like from the regular people's perspective. Some tendril monster, is that really it? Sure, I answer easily. There's no longer any room for doubt in my
あ
mind.
と、
Also,
隣
his
の家
wife
に
and
奥さん
daughter
と
plan
娘
destroy.
さん
They
がいる
might
はずなん
cause
だ。
trouble when he doesn't come home. We better hunt them
旦那
down.
がいなくなったら騒ぐかもしれないし、通報される前に飼っとこうと思う
This
ん
is
だ。
like the bad end now that I think about it, but we're doing the ending that we think Fuminori would do.
そんな風であなたはいいの
I guess I still haven't convinced her of my sincerity.
さっきの漫画の話だとね、人でないものを愛した男は最後に自分が人間であることをやめて恋を成就させるんだ。ハッピーエンドだよ。
ふみのり
さやと一緒にいられるのなら僕はもう何もいらない。
Yeesh.
何もかもこのままでいい。
Tossing the knife in the meat aside, I pull Saya into my arms once more.
言ってもいいよね。さや、君のこと愛してる。
As Saya wipes away the tears flowing from her eyes, I can no longer see any hint of fear in her
あ
face.
なたのこと後悔させたくないのになのに
What the fuck? I have sworn my oath that Saya has accepted it. We have nothing to fear now. Saya will never need to cry
で
again.
も嬉しい私って身勝手だよね
Jesus Christ, brother.
身勝手でいいよ。さやのわがままなら聞くよ、僕は。
わがままで。Filled with contentment, we exchange a smile and set to the task of cleaning the room. Oh God. A single person produces a lot more meat than I expected. Speaking of which, I seem to remember doing something similar
あと
before.
の2人だけど、多分おじさんが殺してる。
Oh, Jesus
So-
Christ.
そりゃ好都合だ。
I suddenly don't like this ending a whole lot. After we finish here, we should go gather meat from the Suzumi house. That should be enough to hold us for a while, and we can use the refrigerator to store what won't fit in ours. It's all coming together. Sai and I will be just fine. Brother.
この写真知ってる？
After we finish our labors and get into bed, I show Saya what I found in the Ogai's house.
この一枚見覚えがあるよ。うん、確かにさやの知ってる場所。
It looks familiar. Yeah, I've definitely been here. The photograph that Saya selected is the one with the Tochigi prefecture address on the back.
これは家だよね。それと木と山。
Hmm.
そう。文則すごいね。写真も見られるようになった？
まあね。
I had to depend entirely on my sense of distance to decipher what I saw. The houses in front of me, the mountains far behind them, the clouds high above. Only distance and scale told me what they were. Photographs and other flat images used to be nearly impossible to make out recently. I've gotten better at understanding what things are by their shape. I know what mountains and sky look like, for instance, and how to tell them apart from buildings. Each of the 3 pictures show a similar scene: a lone house in the middle of a thick
パ
forest.
パはね、別荘だって言ってた。ここにいれば誰にも見つからないって。
Judging by the address on the back of each photo, they probably are excellent places to hide from prying eyes, but why there? It's getting better without her. Yeah, now that I think about it, now that I read you saying that, I put it into perspective, it does seem like he seems to be, like, if he can recognize the shapes and everything of buildings and differentiate them from mountains, it definitely seems very likely that, he's starting to be able to live in this world, but still, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Sire recognized only one of the houses, so that must be the one Ogai picked. Checking on the location on a road map of the Kanto area, I find that it's about 3 hours out of Tokyo by
お
car.
父さんがここにいる可能性は。
Oh, we're about to go on a road trip.
電話してみたけど出なかったよ。多分いないと思う。
でも最近に立ち寄ったことはあるかも
Now
しれ
I'm
ないよ
really
ね。
curious about her dad, to be honest. Like, what the hell did this fucking guy do? To be honest. The way I see it, our only hope is finding Ogai is to follow whatever lead we have, no matter how small. The probability that his hideout will be yield use for information may be low, but it's not zero. Oh,
明日
here's
にでも
this
行って
scene
みよう
again.
かな。ここ。
Rather this than just raw nudity. You have to side pals? I wasn't expecting her to object.
でもここ遠いんでしょ？
This is for your dad, bro. Don't you want to
行って調べて
freaking
帰っ
see
て
your
きても
dad? It'll
ま
only
あ
take about half a day to go there, check it out, and come back.
その間、さやはお留守番なの？
You say stay home. Like, come on. Let's be real. You're probably gonna freaking take some human and eat them up. So that's what it is. Slightly exasperated, I smile and rub Saya's head.
少しは我慢してくれよ。
Want to find your father too, don't you?
そやだってお父さんのこと見つけたいんだろ。
うん。
After a brief silence, during which her expression is hard to decipher, Saya looks up at me and
ね
says,
え、文則。パパのこと
Huh?
はもういいよ。
He was like the whole reason you were looking for. Like, he was like the main thing you were looking for, and now you just want to forget about him?
え
Don't tell me the monster actually fell in love with us. Ain't no way. That's the last thing I expected her to
い
say.
いって、でも君のお父さんだろ。心配じゃないのか。
いいの。私にはもう文則がいるし。
Oh, freaking Lord, bro. Come on.
パパって言っても本当の意味でのお父さんっていうわけじゃない
Now
の。
I'm even more confused. So he's
さや
not
の
your
ことも
dad?
教育してくれたし、ある意味で
Monster
は
love? Gotta catch
愛
them
して
all,
くれ
I
たのかも
guess,
しれないけど。
bro. That's a diabolical freaking thing to say. I'm sure there's, I'm sure I know there's at least one anime like that. So what was it called back then? Mon Musume, something like that. Not Uma Musume, but it was like Mon Musume or something. I think. Never watched it, but I feel like it was always popular. I've heard. I've heard. I say. I swear. He taught me a lot and probably loved me in his own way, but you're kinder and warmer. His words make me happy, but I also hear the loneliness in them.
本当に僕だけでもいいのか
So we're just gonna forget about her dad now. So what the hell are we gonna do for the rest of the game? Just live together and kill more
文
humans?
則
Like, come
は
on.
いやさやと二人っきりじゃ
いやでも
Oh
そうだな。
lord, here we go.
やっぱり大貝教授には会ってみたい
Sorry, excuse me. Finally figured out how to explain my feelings. I continue.
さやのことをもっとよく知りたいから僕以外
Oh,
にさやのことを知って
bro.
る人
Even
が
if
い
you
るなら
did meet Ogai, what's he gonna say? Ah, she's a monster I created. You're in love with a tentacle creature. Good
う
god.
ーんそうなんだ
Saya doesn't seem upset, but she does tilt her head quizzically as though my thoughts are strange to
それ
her.
に
Don't be like, I'm
Yeah,
gonna
please,
ask for his permission to marry you. He's cooked, yeah. He's so cooked. I already don't like this ending. I'm wondering if the game would have already ended had we chose the other option. I'm like, okay, changed us back, and we would have just seen her and blah, 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 you're a monster, run away. Blah, blah, blah. Koji, save me. Yo, save me. I also want to, I'm gonna check it out tomorrow. Another plan has started to form in my head, one separate from the search for Dr. Ogai. If I find the doctor there, great. If I don't, well, I think I can find another use for his mountain retreat. What, their new home?
さや寂しいかもしれないけどちょっと我慢して待っててくれ
Oh, Lord.
やっぱり文則にはさ家族とか友達と
You
か
really want a family and friends, don't you?
も
More
っと
people
もっ
you
と
can spend
大
time
勢
with.
いた方がいい
Oh,
の
don't
か
be
な
like, alright, time to fuck.
そりゃその方が楽しいだろ
Oh,
うね
Lord. Please, God, don't tell me she's about to spit out fucking alien babies. Fearing that Sai will start sulking, I hurriedly add.
でも勘違い
"Don't
し
get
な
me
いでく
wrong,
れ
even
よ
if I could have lots of friends, you'll always
た
be
とえ
special
そう
to
いう
me."
人たちに囲まれて暮らしてたとしても
Yup, she's gonna
Saya
manifest
dake wa
freaking alien
boku ni
babies,
totte
bro.
特別
I don't.
ありがとう
Fuminori. I mean, we picked this freaking ending, I guess, so whatever. I was gonna say, bro, open your eyes, but we picked this. This is our first route.
さやも文則が喜びそうなこと文則のためだけに頑張るからね
Back in class. Today, all of Koji's classes were in the morning. On his way to meet Yo for lunch after his final lecture, Koji suddenly gets a call in the middle of the hallway. Without thinking, he reaches to his belt for his new camera phone, but curses when he realizes that the ringtone is coming from the old phone in his bag. He hasn't transferred his contacts yet. Still, some calls come to his old phone from people who don't know his new number. When he finally fishes the phone from his bag, the name he sees on this display sends a chill up his spine. Oh, Fuminori. Yep. I know. What does he want? It's hard to be happy about a call from Fuminori after the incident at the Oga house.
はい
いやコージ今日はも
Why do we know? Why do we know his class schedule? Please.
ああ
Of course, Fuminori would know that Koji's free on Thursday afternoons.
う相談がある駐車場に来てくれないか
今すぐにか
あ待ってる
What's gotten into him? What does he want? Koji wonders as he sticks the phone into his jacket pocket. The sudden change is disturbing after a week of Fuminori avoiding both Koji and Yo. Maybe he's finally ready to talk, in which case Koji should probably consider this a good thing. However, he can't shake the feeling that something is wrong. He's like holding hands with a tentacle monster as Koji walks up, bro. Did I keep you
い
waiting?
や
In the parking lot, Koji finds Fuminori leaning against the fender of Koji's car. That's disrespectful. Why are you leaning on your friend's car? It's not even yours. Come on. Be better. The last time they met was in the darkness of an abandoned house. This is the first time in over a week that they've spoken face to face in the light. Perhaps this is why Koji senses something strange in Fuminori's expression. He's not sure what exactly, but something has changed.
前にも
He's
話した
mocking
と
me
思う
again.
が
I think I
僕は
told you
今
before that I'm looking for information
オ
on
ー
my
ガイ
name.
っていう人についていろいろと調べなきゃならない。
Uh-huh.
そうらしいな。
それがな、ここに来ていろいろと難しくなってきたんだ。
Fuminori
Yapari,
seems more relaxed than before.
僕一人じゃ無理か
He
も
used
な
to
っ
be
て。
tense all the time, like he was terrified of something, but now his expression is calm. He's even wearing what resembles to be a sheepish grin.
で、お前にも手伝ってほ
Please
しいんだ。
don't be like I'm gonna kill him, bro. Please. Nevertheless, some instincts is telling Koji that Fuminori's changes are not for the better.
一体どういう風の吹き回しだ。
だって、お前も関心あるんだろ、コウジ。お前も僕の後から、大貝教授の家をいろいろと探し回ってたじゃないか。僕とお前とでバラバラに探すなんて二度手間だよ。
Oh god.
どうせなら、
This
協
cannon
力して
will.
もっと効率的にやろう。
I'm gonna call it a night, but thanks for the stream. No, thank you, another map. I appreciate you hanging out. Very pleased that you popped in and dropped your input on a lot of these parts, because definitely wouldn't have expected it. And thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Hope I see you next time. Take care. How's it? Why does he sense malice thick and viscous lurking behind Fuminori's
とも
smile?
かく、今日は足が必要なんだ。
I need your car today. That's a crazy
車を出して
thing
くれ
to
ないか。
ask for immediately.
まあ、構わんが。
Fuminori's car was destroyed in the accident, so Koji isn't surprised that he needs a lift. Koji unlocks his car and gestures for Fuminori to take the passenger seat, then gets behind the wheel and starts the engine.
で、どこに行くんだ。
栃木の北の方。那須高原の近所だな。
栃木
He can't believe his ears. He's like, bro, that's freaking. It's like a 4-hour drive.
住所はこれだ。
Here's the
Oh,
address.
Tatemono
Fuminori says,
Sarasoshi.
handing Koji a photo with the address on the back. We need to find this building. He seriously expects to be driven over 100 kilometers and back. Koji doesn't know whether to be angry or
今か
impressed.
ら出発すれば
If we leave
夕
now,
方
we
頃
should
には
get there
着く
by
だろう。
evening, right?
まあ、そうかもしれんが。
Koji really gonna go along with it? That's crazy. Koji sighs heavily, tapping on the steering wheel as he calms himself down. Now that he's come this far, the only thing he can do is see his friend's craziness through to the
別
end.
荘か何かか。
Is it a vacation home or something?
多分、
Probably.
そこに
Dr.
大
Ogai
貝教
should
授も
be
いる
there.
らしい。
Koji isn't looking forward to meeting the owner of that creepy house, but he's even more uneasy about letting Fuminori go alone. Looks like he has to just grin and bear it.
東京に戻るのは夜中かもな。
悪いな。
いいさ。
Koji's such a homie, bro. I really don't want him to die, bro. I really don't want him to die. Fuminori's smile seems wrong somehow, like a mask hiding his true face. Oh, man. Honestly, I'm thinking of ending stream here because I was also getting kind of tired. And it's like 6 a.m. right now, so I'm thinking we just can take a respite and I can just do this again tomorrow night. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking here because I've been going. It's 4 a.m. too. Yeah, we can call it there. Give me just a second. 4 a.m. Yeah, you should be getting some sleep as well as I. But yeah, we'll call it here. I had a really good time playing this though. Seriously, this has been super fun. I'm a big fan of this game. Like it's definitely weird. It makes me uncomfortable, but at the same time, it's not the worst. It's something. But yeah. It's interesting, and I'm definitely kind of interested in seeing it through now. Yeah, I'll call it there. Thank you, Nura, Map, Ray. I appreciate all y'all hanging out here. It was very enjoyable. And I hope I'll see y'all next time, which will be tonight. Tonight in like 20 hours or so. Probably like midnight EST, 11 CST, freaking 9 PST, freaking 1 JST, you know, all the time translations. But yeah, thank you so much for hanging out, and thank you for gifting the sub again to Map. Nura, I really appreciate it. That was really sweet of you. But yeah, I'll see y'all later. Take care. Goodbye, 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 goodbye. Good night, good night, good night. Wah, 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 wah.